Okay, here we are again. Intro has played. So, we will hang out here for a couple of minutes, and then we'll get started. Alright, take a quick drink, and then we'll get started. Okay, here goes something. So part 2 of my allergy woes. I hate how allergy medicine makes me feel. After the rainstorm on Wednesday, I decided yesterday that I would start taking half of an allergy pill in addition to the fish oil in order to prevent it from being not really, a problem for me. And evidently, in between years, I forget how allergy pills make me feel because I only end up taking them for like 3 or 4 weeks at a time to get me over the hump of the tree pollen season. They make me feel like shit, to put it lightly. They make my appendages feel hyperactive, so my fingers are twitching, my legs want to break into a full-on sprint. Meanwhile, my head feels like I'm in a fucking fog, which is not exactly conducive to on-the-spot stream of consciousness or stream of strategy commentary that comes naturally when I live stream. So apologies if I'm particularly foggy today. I might not be because I'm heated about this, so that might fuel my fire. But we'll see how it all goes. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Skies of Arcadia Legends, the Stream Edition, where at least I'm not as bad off as Blueheim. Last time, we made our way to Yafutoma after getting a rather rude welcoming committee, but we ingratiated ourselves a little bit, hopefully, especially now that we got the Blue Moon Crystal back for them from Mount Kazai. So we're going to head back to Yafutoma proper, and we'll see what they say when we give them the crystal. Excuse me. Hello, Marie and Sefko. How's everybody doing? Welcome back. Not really done much so far, just like I said, we're moving back to Yafutoma, so best timing. You woke up right at 4:25, there you go, nice. So we were on the same page today, evidently. They just knock you out like a tranquilizer. Yeah, sometimes I get really groggy after taking them too, like yesterday was the first time I took them, and I got super groggy and I took a nap for like an hour and a half yesterday. It was ridiculous. I definitely didn't have time to do that, but I did it anyway. And today, my head just feels like it's in a fog. It might be because I'm getting used to it, but usually what happens is it makes me feel hyperactive all over, and just my head is in a fog. So, like, if I take them at night, I can't sleep. So that's why I have to take them during the day, and it sucks. But anyway, you know. You don't take allergy pills, you just let yourself suffer. See, and I'm thinking I might actually just do that this year. Like, say, quit cold turkey the allergy pills and just see how the omega-3s help me in terms of, okay, is this going to be enough to reduce the inflammation enough in my nose and in my throat so that I don't cough and sneeze my brains out for 3 to 4 weeks at a time when the tree pollen is falling all over the place. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet, but there is a distinct possibility that I will, so we'll see how that goes. What am I looking for here? We want, this is the ship shop, so we want to take this stuff and we want to see if, do I need anything ship-wise? I mean, I guess I could buy Opwax, but I don't think they have any, so, and that's why I don't have any in particular to work with, so, okay, I'm just going to double-check my ship before we get out of here, and then we'll head up. We'll see what we got. Okay, we still have a 10-inch cannon coil, which I'm probably still going to, well, I guess I could get another 5-inch, or 5-foot cannon and replace the cannon coil with it. But we're going to be replacing, basically, once we get out of Yafutoma proper, once we have the Blue Moon Crystal, I'm going to be keeping one regular cannon and one secondary cannon, and then 2 torpedoes, because our torpedo accuracy is going to be significantly higher than 65% once we get out of here. So, yeah, that's the plan anyway. We'll see. But for now, let's trace back through the City of Water and get back to our ship. Alright, Body, you've had 3 decades to build a tolerance. You're on your own, yeah. Yeah, that's about right, yeah. See, I didn't start suffering from allergies myself until I was about 14. Like, before that, I had no problems with pollen or anything like that, but now, all of a sudden, I get to 14, and they're like, yeah, you're allergic to grass and tree pollen, and it's going to cause you to start coughing and sneezing your brains out. And I was like, really? And then the summer after that, I was like, oh, yeah, really? Because there goes my entire body. Okay, yeah, we're up here, so we need to go check in with the king and let him know we got the crystal. To derail this early so you don't do it later, your boyfriend and you finished the weapon side quest in 14 last night, and you were so drained emotionally that you couldn't play anymore, and you only did Diamond last night. Yeah, I heard that about the weapon quests. We're planning on doing them at the end of the Shadowbringers stream, because Cole and I had a really good idea for a stupid skit with one of the instances in there where you pilot a mech. So we had a dumb idea for a skit, so we're gonna do it then. But yeah, I've heard that they're a bit emotionally draining. So excuse me. Oh, you live next to a forest and got a cat recently, plus asthma. Yeah, no, in that case, yeah, you definitely are gonna need a little bit of help, because all of that combined is not going to make things easier on your breathing levels. That's for sure. So. You have asthma, take the pills, please. Yeah, it's not really gonna work out for you otherwise, so. Alright, well, King Mikado? Yeah, well, it wasn't easy, exactly. I mean, that turtle that was in there really gave us a run for our money, not because he was particularly strong offensively, but because he just wouldn't die. Yeah, borrowed it and probably never gave it back, because we're probably going to bury it in, like, deep sky or something where nobody can ever use it. I mean, that's fair, I guess. You have never seen it since the old world, so. Does that mean he's going to gift you the, whatchamacallit, this here crystal later? Something suspicious going on there. Well, at least they're gonna have a feast. That's good. Hey, Lifeblood, how's it going? Welcome back. We just recovered the Blue Moon Crystal from Alcazai for Sky Japan, yes, and so now we just gave it back to them, and we're gonna go have a feast. Sounds like fun. Yeah, let's see what they've got in terms of their cooking materials. Enrique's got something on his mind. I wonder... Yeah, so we gave him the Blue Moon Crystal. Surely nothing bad will come of this. Oh, everybody beside you is a smoker too? Oh boy, yeah, then you're definitely going to need some help. And with all of those factors against you, I think you need more than just a pill. I think you need to, like, find an area where all of those combined factors are not causing your asthma to act up as much, but that's not exactly something that you can just do. Most people can't just get up and move somewhere else, you know, so... Yeah, it's that Okami Sea Palace, but in the sky, exactly. And before you need the moon crystals to stop a greater threat, and can't get rid of them, yeah. That would be kind of interesting. Get the feeling you are gonna be on the menu. Well, I hope these people aren't cannibals. Holy hell. Stupid idiots. Did they not learn with the red crystal? Evidently not, no. Evidently not. I mean, we're trying to respect their traditions and all, but sometimes you buck tradition for the sake of the safety of the world, and in this case, I kind of agree. I think we should have just said, no, we need to keep the crystal so that the Valuans don't take it. Because surely the Valuans will find some way to get to this side of the world, even if they can't get through the Dark Rift. So... Oh, yeah, chopsticks. Yeah, because you thought they were like spears, Aka. If your crazy dreams were anything to judge by. Well, your food was good, so, I mean... You're welcome. Okay, so it's a male line of succession. Great. Well, I'm glad at least she's trying to buck the tradition. Why do I feel like we suddenly stepped into Arabian Nights, except in Japan? Yeah, but what if you do something that makes you a traitor? Like, I hate to judge a book by its cover, but this guy isn't exactly giving off good vibes. Well, that's correct, yes. Oh boy. Actually, he thinks he can push you around because he's the prince of the largest military force on the planet, so that's why he can push you around, you little jackass. Learn, JRPG protags. Learning? Maybe not. Why don't we just smash the crystals, or the Emperor will use it for war. Yeah, smashing the crystals probably wouldn't be a bad idea, because then they couldn't use them for, you know, ultimate destruction and doom. I mean, I know they're the crystallized essence of the element in question, but hey, that means the Gigases couldn't be summoned if you didn't have the moon crystals. So yeah, I'm kind of all for the dispose of the crystals plan. Will the characters do that? That remains to be seen. So, like, just bury them in that black hole in the Dark Rift. Nobody will ever find them again. I'm sure he's put in that position all the time with the people from his country, if I'm honest. Yeah, but you do. And they say chivalry is dead. Technically speaking, this game came out 19 years ago, though, so maybe it's not exactly as alive as it used to be. Yeah, who is this Daigo guy that he was talking about? Oh. Okay, good night. Why does it always come down to failure to communicate with these sorts of things? Like, we can't have a cultural exchange if you're not willing to tell us a few things about how your culture works here. What are you ribbing me for? Why are you giving me that look? Oh, I see. Okay. You think he's got the hots for her, huh? Or maybe the other way around. Oh, boy. Alright, then. Well, I do kind of like how they do that, though, because too many RPGs in general will kind of just be like, yeah, you know, I think he's got the hots for her. Like, they'll say it outright without there being, like, any indication whatsoever. Meanwhile, this game shows you why one or the other party might be interested, because Enrique comes to Mogi's aid when she's being lambasted by this person that she doesn't like, but is probably going to be forced to marry. So... I like that they show it to you rather than tell it to you, so that's always a good skill to have. You are positive the moon crystals will be harder than diamonds, so have fun smashing them, yeah. Well, if the black moonstone is pressure or magnetism, like I said, we could either smash them with the pressure or magnetize them to deep sky so they can never be pulled out, but I don't know. Who cares? Does it affect the existence of said magic color? I don't think so. I mean, they've been stuck under, you know, water or everything else for years and it hasn't affected the flow of magic, so I would imagine getting rid of them. Phrase, we got a lot of time and a lot of weaponry. We can smash them. Valua would probably agree with you. They wouldn't want to do it, but they'd probably agree. Because writing is hard, and this kind of thing is easy to write in without struggle. Yeah, I know. I just appreciate it all the more when the game is able to show it like they did. So. Uh-oh. See, didn't I say Valua would get here somehow? How the hell did Beliza get here? Oh boy. This is gonna get complicated. It always is with her. Still though, literally, how the hell did they get here? Like, did they follow us through the Dark Rift? I thought they didn't have the technology. I thought we had the only ship that could do that, but maybe they've been developing more than we thought. A futon, Vice. That's what it is. It's a futon. Apparently it's pretty comfy, though. Uh-oh. What seems to be the problem? Oh, yeah, that could be a problem. How did they get here? Yeah, how did she exactly? That's what I'm up to. Like, how could they have gotten here? Oh boy. And these two off smirking in the corner like they're completely guilty of something. Oh, well, we gotta get to the harbor so we can see what the hell's going on. You know what? You're just gonna stop nitpicking before you have a fucking conniption. There is a legitimate way that they got here, I'll tell you that much. This game doesn't play its hand until it all will make sense. It will tell us how they got here, and it is a legitimate way to get here. And actually, I kind of like it, if I'm honest with you, but we'll talk about it when we get that far. Can I? No, I can't. I gotta go this way. Okay. Excuse me, pardon me. I got places to be and armadas to blow out of the sky. That's not how the saying goes, but I'm taking it for myself. Why is it always the advisor that's evil? How'd they even get into that position of power? It's a trope. Oh, yeah, it is the Valuans, and now they have my ship surrounded. Fantastic. Oh, and Vigoro's here. This day just keeps getting worse. Hi. Also, how the hell? Whoa. Oh my god. Here we go again. Okay, seriously, stop. This is not okay. Thank you for cock-blocking him, Beliza. That just added points to your already good character in my book. She's seriously one of my favorite characters in the game, but I can't talk about why yet. We'll see later. Because when you're the right hand for so long, you start lusting for the power. You know you belong in that position and not the lead. But that kind of power seduces really easily. I mean, maybe it's because they found ways to make, like, because they're traders, right? Not traitors. They're traitors now, but they're also traders. Like, maybe they found a new trade route or something that they could use to bring in goods that they couldn't get some other way, and that's why the king trusts them so much, that they would make them an advisor, because then they could advise on economics, which the king might not have full expertise on. So we don't get the story behind that, though. I don't think. I'm pretty sure Kangen and Miraji are basically just one-note villains of the week, so... That's right, you gotta put your dick away, Vigro, because you're in the presence of the prince. So, yeah, put that stuff away. Oh! Yeah, this is how they got here, because they traveled west from Ixataka. Yeah, the world is round. It's not like in Custom Robo where everybody believes the world is flat. Valua knows, at this point, that the world is round. So, does everyone else know that? Probably not. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So, Yeah, that would not be very cool of you. Well, right. But what are you doing here, then? Are you just gonna take the crystal and leave? Do you really think they're gonna let you? Yeah, is that why you brought Vigoro around? Because he's not above getting his hands dirty. And I'm sure you're gonna figure that out, aren't you? Great. Uh-huh. Okay, bye.
See you around, handsome.
I don't think stopping them by force is going to make a difference here. I mean, the army's here and they have our ship surrounded, so what do you think's gonna happen? I mean, we probably could. It depends on how high of a level they are, but I don't think that's the right choice. We, yeah, can't even get to our ship right now. They're holding our crew members hostage, potentially, so... Problem. No solution that we can just brute force our way through, you know? Yeah, attention, duelists! My hair gives me super strength. I'm glad that you remember that, Sefiko, because that's definitely Vigoro's thing. 18 plus, did not expect that, but Lisa betraying value is pretty obvious. I guess it depends on how deep into the waters of we're going to kill everyone they go, right? Because she doesn't seem to have that genocidal tendency that everybody else does, so maybe we can get her to come around. Look at it this way, if you're helping run a factory, that means you know what it takes to run the factory, and you might be more integral than the person who's kinda in charge. So why not just replace them? You know what it takes to run the factory, trust me, you get the trope logically. Yeah, logically that makes a lot of sense, because if you're out on the service floor, and you know this is exactly how this has to operate from this point to this point in order to get everything done properly, the boss will just say, yeah, cool, so go do that and I'll be up in my office. Like, at that point, a coup is inevitable. It's just a matter of time. Oh boy. Anyway. Yes, we don't want to show a lack of diplomacy for people that we just met, so let's just let them see what they've got going on, and when they show their hand and, you know, steal the crystal, then we'll figure things out. Well, good. Just as we expected. Sure, but they do know these lands, these skies, better than you do. They could probably run circles around you if they had enough cover. Excuse me. I'm glad that their reputation precedes them. I'm also glad that he's shaking with rage. Again, good details that this game has. They showed the fact that Enrique and Mogi might have a little thing for each other just from seeing each other, and now he's quite literally shaking about this shit. As he should be. I'd be outraged too if somebody just sailed around the world to try to take my fucking country. There you go. It sure is. Sure. Okay. Oh good, she paid off the easily pay-offable traders that are now allowing them to take this by force. Oh no! We should have seen this one coming. That's not very nice. I was gonna say, actually, I'm pretty sure they're both traders, so... Oh good, she already was here. Fantastic. Well, yeah, we knew that, actually, because before we went to sleep, Miraji and Beliza met, so there you go. I'm saying, my lord, that you're a gullible imbecile, and I betrayed you in the hopes of winning into Valua's good graces. My dog is barking at something out there, so if you hear him in the background, I apologize. I love it when we're like, I know I can defeat all the enemies, especially in something like Zelda combat, but the game is like, no, you cannot. Yeah, that's cutscene power taking effect, and... sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not. I'm actually going to even go as far as to say most times it's not okay, but there are a few instances where it's kind of like, yeah, I get it. Usually in the early game, it's a lot more okay than it is in the late game, where it's like, no, I'm literally as strong as your entire army, I can take them. but, you know. Yeah, remind me not to get on your bad side. I think I already mentioned that one. This is more energy than my dog has shown in about 8 months. Good for him. The writers need some power, yeah. Usually they need, when you get to the point where you can brute force your way through an entire army, though, the writers need to find ways to underpower you without using force. So some writers can do that, and most can't, unfortunately. Like, this is subterfuge, which does, in fact, undermine the brute force power that protagonists get by the end of a JRPG. Beliza is doing things the right way to create a vacuum of power where it's like, no, we can't subterfuge because our characters are morally good and don't do that most of the time. So she's doing things the right way. At least I think so. It's not like a bad thing, in my opinion. It's fine. Well, yeah, that's usually true. Easy, drugged the food last night. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Yeah, 1,000 Heartless battle, though, yeah. And that happens about 2/3 of the way through Kingdom Hearts 2, where you are strong enough to defeat 1,000 Heartless mooks. And then Xemnas comes in, and that's actually a good example of how to underpower your characters, because then Xemnas comes in and says, well, by killing those 1,000 Heartless, you made us one step closer to opening Kingdom Hearts for ourselves. And then the characters realize, oh, fuck, if we keep killing shit, then the bad guys win. So that's a good example of how to do things. And I will criticize Kingdom Hearts 2 in a few places, because there are a few places it deserves legitimate criticism, but that is a good example of how to underpower the protagonists when they are near the end of an RPG. So, meanwhile, over here, I'm guessing the talks went south. Yeah, very south. That sounds about right, actually. I don't know why we're surprised. She is your subterfuge expert, Enrique, so... let's see. If we run in there, we're facing the same problem that we just decided to not do, so instead of saving him now, we should probably try to get some help, because we're going to need their whole army to get through them, if we don't have the Delphinus, so... And there's also that, too, yeah. So that's just great. We're going to need all the firepower we can get, so let's go find some more firepower and take the Delphinus back so we can help them out. Ah, it's a false wall. Nice. Alright, sounds like a plan. Let's head out then. Let's see. I think there's something this way, actually. Because this is a dead end. Yeah, there we go. Hey, Sacralin crystals. Nice. That'll work out. I don't think I'm going to get the camera to pan back around, though. Yeah, no. I don't think so. So it's going to stay like this for a minute. I can't see where I'm going, but it's probably fine. There we go. Yeah, there's a secret passage in this household. Guess it makes sense. In case they needed an escape plan for something. But where will this let us escape to? Let's go find out. I don't know where we're going, but we're going pretty high up. Yeah, you guys have got some fancy ships under the blue moon there. Yeah, a suspiciously colored wall. No one will ever expect it. Yeah, we're kind of sitting ducks if they decide to fire on us, aren't they? Oh, okay. So you knew where he was. And didn't tell? And so why didn't you tell anyone that he was there? Did he just ask you to not? For some reason? Oh. Okay, well, I guess there's that. I guess the king's kind of kicking himself for doing that now, isn't he? He sounds just as adventurous as I do. No, that seems like a mile way too far. Yeah, and... See, and that's the thing to me, too. It's kind of like, okay, listen, King, I'm not so sure you're a good character in this case, because you're listening to your advisors about family matters over your own children. Like, that just seems way too... Like, that just seems dumb, I guess. that you would listen to someone outside of your family about your own family matters. Like, no, take care of that shit yourselves. But yeah, he might have a way out of this, or at the very least he can get us back to the Delphinus without us, you know, running into any problems. You love how every damn castle has to have a secret passage. Imagine the fucking blueprints for this place. Okay, no one else is allowed to know where the thing over here is or where it goes. Yeah, trade secrets, apparently. I'm sure Kerala would have a field day with this place, that's for sure. Alright, and I think at one point they were actually going to have you travel on the ship to get here, but I think they might have made a decision late in development to say, yeah, no, we're just going to take them there. So, to be fair, it makes sense. We're pretty damn high up, so, yeah. Like, that's Yafutoma down there. So, to give you an idea. Or maybe that's not, because that's a snow-capped mountain, so that wouldn't be Mount Kazai. I don't know. Looks vaguely like Yafutoma. I mean, the Dark Rift is over there, so maybe. But anyway, we are on Exile Island. So we'll just have to go see if we can find Daigo. I keep almost wanting to say Dago, but that's a slur, so we don't want to say that. And apologies to anyone for whom that slur would be appropriate. I don't like it either, but I almost keep saying it when I see his name. Sorry. I believe all of the encounters here are forced, like each time you get to one of these island-looking things in between the walkways, it'll force you into an encounter with these guys, so... Shouldn't be too bad, though. They, I don't think they've got too much HP. They're blue elementals, so... Yeah, we'll keep working on purple, that's fine. Just do some, Oh, wait, do you have the Moondust ring equipped? Oops, wrong thing. Nope. Now you do. And you have the Jade Swirl Ring? Yep, good. That's what I want. Yeah, 2 Pyres. We can't quite cast Pyrum and Pyres yet, but we'll get there soon enough. Probably at around, like, level 35-ish. Okay, Fina should be able to take them out with a Pyres herself. She's got a little more will than Aka, so... And these guys like buffing themselves on the first turn, so you usually don't have to worry too much about them attacking you, because they just buff. So, you know, like this. If you let them linger at less than maximum HP, they'll also use Sacred Crystals on each other, so try to kill them in one round if you can. Shouldn't be too hard, though. I'm kind of glad that Enrique hit the one that was Incrum, too, because that helps a little bit. With getting rid of them. Or no, wait, Incrum doesn't affect magic damage. I forgot about that. It's only attack and defense, not magic defense.
That was easy.
So, not too bad. This is not a family matter, it's politics. Disobeying the king's order more often than not enough for execution, even for family. And that's incorrect. That's what I'm saying. That's morally wrong. I don't care if it's common or traditional from society's sake in previous time periods. It's not the right way to do things. So, there are many islands. It should be Exile Islands. Yeah, I guess that could make sense, because it would make sense to be plural in that case. What are these enemies? Exiles themselves? Probably, if I had to guess, these would be Daigo's men that decided to exile themselves with him because of his... They like him, and they didn't think that his exile was correct, like me. So I guess I'd be in exile, too. I mean, I don't know the guy, but him having an adventurous spirit, I don't think is enough to tell him, no, you can never be king, and I'm going to disown you from my family. Like, that's a stretch way, way too far. That there is nothing that should cause you to exile your family. Like, something that petty just seems like a silly thing to exile your family over, I guess, is what I'm saying. So. Such a good fucking thing the red magic is the best for random battles. Yeah, it's probably the most balanced magical school out of all of them. I don't think Incremus is well balanced because it costs too much SP, but all of the red attacking magic, except Pyrolen, is very well balanced. It does enough damage to get the job done for the SP that you have. So, Rules are made to follow, not to ignore, and then not to get proper punishment. That actually reminds me, Lifeblood. Thank you for reminding me, because everyone that's here except for, I think Syroxis was also here when I was trying to figure out that psychological principle that I was talking about before. It's Kohlberg's principles of moral development. That's what it is that I was trying to figure out before. Now, Kohlberg's principles of moral development, what they do is they list 3 different types of how you conceptualize laws and rules in society. You can conceptualize them pre-conventionally, conventionally, or post-conventionally. And the way that they work is if you conceptualize rules pre-conventionally, you obey rules because you are afraid of the consequences. You usually see it, at least according to Kohlberg's samples, which we'll get into why that was a bad thing in a little bit, but according to Kohlberg's samples, you usually see pre-conventionality when it comes to morals and rules in children because they have no frame of reference for why the rules should be followed because they aren't really, like, productive members of society yet. So most of them follow the rules because their parents tell them or else, and then they follow them. You follow rules conventionally after you develop a little bit of an ethical sense of self. That happens when you've lived in society for a little while, not necessarily when you're an adult, but when you're an adolescent and you've lived in society long enough to say, okay, this is why rules are in place, because they're meant to be followed. So you follow rules because they're created to keep society rigid. And that rigidity allows you to be a productive member of society, so you follow the rules. Post-conventionality happens when you realize that rules are meant to be broken rather than followed in 99% of cases. And your own morality and ethics start to come into conflict with those rules, and you realize, you know what, no, because the people at the top of society break the rules all the time and they are not punished for it, so pre-conventionality doesn't make sense, and regular conventionality doesn't make sense because it adversely affects specific types of people, usually people of color, in a different way than people who are white, for example. So because of the fact that society is completely biased towards different types of people when it comes to rules and breaking them, post-conventionality says no, the rules are meant to be broken because until they can treat everyone equally, they're not good rules. So let me take a drink before I explain why Kohlberg's ethical and moral development was frowned upon a little bit. The reason why it's frowned upon a little bit is because his sample size was basically the same as every other sample size in the 50s and 60s for psychologists, which was middle-class white males. So his discernment about how post-conventionality affects people is mostly based on a white worldview of people of color, and by that I mean a progressive white worldview of people of color, where the law treats them incorrectly. That worldview is correct. The law does treat people of color incorrectly, but unless you have a sample size that includes all different groups of people, your rules don't necessarily apply to everyone. So I like Kohlberg's rules of moral development, or Kohlberg's theories of moral development, because they do, to me, make sense. But I can't take my bias out of the equation when I think about them, because I am myself a white male who is not exactly middle class. We, by comparison to most people, are pretty poor. But yeah, I can't overrule my own bias when it comes to this stuff. So, but that's the thought. That was the thought process that I was talking about before. So, in case anybody was interested, a little enrichment for you while we go up Exile Island. Rules are meant to be followed, but rules can also be designed to cripple. There's a line you have to draw as an individual. You still follow rules because of the first thing. So that means that you look at rules in a pre-conventional way. And that's fine. You can have whatever rule-following method that you determine is correct. I will tell you that society will take advantage of you for saying that you're afraid of the consequences, but that's not for me to decide. That is for you to decide. So, yeah, no, you're not wrong. It's a different way of looking at rules, that's all. So, you know, you don't care for people, and your morality for people in general is 0. No, but again, it's just a different way of looking at the rules, that's all. I myself am post-conventional when it comes to rules. I look at them and I determine on a case-by-case basis whether the rules are morally just or morally unjust, mostly depending on how they treat different groups of people. But again, it's just a different way of looking at rules. It's not correct or incorrect necessarily. It's just a different way of looking at things. So I apologize if my explanation made it seem like one of them was more correct than others. They're not necessarily. But it's just a different way of looking at things. I do hope someone eventually extrapolates on Kohlberg's theories of moral development, though, like with a better sample, because I think that they'll find that a lot of factors go into whether people look at rules post-conventionally. Also, Zhao and Mao are here, so let me get off my psychology high horse, and here they are. Ah, so you guys are members of the Tenku. Okay, yeah, I think you mentioned that before, but the Tenku... I think Tenku in Japanese means exile, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
For you to die.
I would prefer if I didn't die, actually. Hold it right there! Oh, hello there. Ah, so this is, sorry, almost said it again. This is... Nope, there it goes again. My brain trying to say it. This is Daigo. There. Yeah, what the fuck? How the fuck did they get here? Just do not want to go to prison, otherwise, I don't know, I'd probably go rob shit for real. Some of your dark thoughts include murder. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, that is... There are things to unpack there. It sounds like therapy wouldn't be out of the question for you, but, It's understandable that you could live for pre-conventionality if the consequences of the rules scare you. So... Yes, sir, that would be us. We came through the Dark Rift, and we didn't try to take over your country, let me be clear on that. So... I was gonna say, this is your brother, right? Yeah. Yeah, Tengu is a type of demon. I believe they're a winged demon, if I remember my Shin Megami Tensei correctly. So... I'd have to look into it a little more, though. Long time no see, even though you had a secret passage where you could come visit me at any time. We should probably tell him about the fact that there's a coup going on right now, shouldn't we? Because that seems like a good idea. By the way, if you thought that Stormblood had an original bone in its body when it came to its story, here's a reason why you're wrong. Sorry. Sometimes I just feel a vindictive urge to just take potshots at Final Fantasy XIV for no reason. And I apologize to people who enjoy the game, but it just happens. It's like a twinge, a bone, a muscle that I don't know I have to use, and suddenly it's just like, nope, this is exactly the situation. My bad. Oh, so you... Okay. So yeah, he actually came to rule the Tenku by force, because he... I kind of glossed over the line, but they tried to take his sword, and he beat them senseless for it. This is my type of dude. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, they wouldn't be pirates anymore then. They'd be closer to blue rogues, though you guys probably don't have a frame of reference for those. So... Yeah, I guess it's, you know, dependent on his life of adventure versus you having to be prim and proper. It's their society, Eika. Their society values the independence of a male over the independence of a female. It's like that in a lot of Far Eastern cultures, at least going back years anyway. Hopefully it's getting better, but I don't have a frame of reference for Japan in the present day, so I couldn't tell you if it is or isn't. This stream has been very political so far, hasn't it? And I did it myself. Oh, well. Well, actually, he's been taken hostage by the people that ousted you. So that's just great. Yeah, runt is a euphemism for how you feel right now. I can just feel it. Because he's a backstabber. Have you seen the guy? He couldn't be anything else in his life other than a backstabber. He has that look to him. Well, at least he understands the necessity of going back, you know. I'm not ignoring the moonfish, by the way, on the left side near Mogi's head there. I can see it, so we'll have to go grab that in a minute. Or you pay 0 money just to say, it's like that, and move on. Yeah, I guess that's true. If it works for you, then that's good. If it doesn't, you might want to consider therapy. It is a winged demon, yep. How do you know she didn't visit him in secret? I guess I don't, so maybe she did. He just said it's been a long time, so maybe he could just be being facetious. Now, thought change, do you know Crypt of the Necrodancer? That guy is a free spirit. He is a free spirit, yes. And I've heard of Crypt of the Necrodancer, but I have not played it. I actually named a video after it at one point, but yeah. I've heard of it, but I haven't played it, so it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, it could be on my backlog, but I hadn't made any plans to, you know. Is it a roguelike? I think I remember it being like a roguelike or something, or a roguelite, maybe? I don't know, I get those two confused all the time. Yes, let's help the Tenku to take back their country, and then we can get the fringe benefit of taking back the Delphinus. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Alright, let's get Yafutoma back. We'll get the Blue Moon Crystal back, and then we'll go from there. Wow, news does travel fast around here. You're welcome. It's just the way that I was not taught. I read books about it because my mother didn't want me to be a gentleman. She wanted me to be ruthless. Yeah, that would, you know, work. Because if the whole world wants social democracy, then Valua will surely have to change its ways from fascism. We'll talk about that, too. That's why this is such a political stream, because I remember that I have to talk about fascism when we're done with the Blue Moon Crystal. That'll be a fantastic topic. I'm just priming myself to be ready for it. Well, fair enough. We're all in it together, so... But do you see what I mean about me being scatterbrained today? Like, I can make these conversations rather than, like, actually talking about the video game. And just go off on tangents for minutes at a time instead of, you know, actually making good progress, and it sucks. I hate my allergy pills. Wah, wah. We had you guys figured out, dead to rights, before you even knew it. Okay, sounds like a plan. You hate it when you see collectibles in cutscenes and have to possibly travel back for it. Yeah, thankfully they don't force you to do that. They just let you... Oh, it's back here. Yeah, so we gotta go up on top here and then we can go get it. So it's not like a bad situation. We just gotta... Oop, hold on. Back out. There we go. Just gotta go grab it. And there we go. I think that's... How many moonfish is that? There's... 1, 2... I think there's 5 left, so that would be number 19? Yeah. So, that's good. Excuse me. Crypt of the Necrodancer is not really roguelike. It's a dungeon crawler with a rhythm base. It's way better than it sounds like, and the music is amazing. Now, that does sound interesting because, I mean, you don't... Excuse me. You don't always see rhythm-based things being the main mechanic of a game. Oftentimes it's used as a mini-game instead of them being the main mechanic, so that sounds cool. Maybe I'll check it out. Yep. Well, we're gonna make it a war if we have to. We're hoping it doesn't come to that, but... I know Beliza will be reasonable, but Vigoro? Doubtful. And yeah, now the Tenku won't attack you because they know you're on their side. So all the forced encounters around here are no longer here. I'm pretty sure they disappear after you first battle them, like as you're coming through here, but I'm not 100% sure about that, so... whatever. Little baby Hamachu! Hello. Is this your pet? Sure is. Yeah, I get that. Well, I'm gonna help you out the best I can. Especially since I have a vested interest in getting my ship back. It's a fringe benefit, like I said, but if helping you means that your country will be in better hands, then that's, you know, a good thing. I know how I can remember that Daigo's name is Daigo. It's like Daigoro. There we go. Now my brain will associate it with something that's not a racial slur. If foggy brain is you being passionate and cognizant about politics, full power mono must be something else. Oh, you should see me at certain public debates. Oh, it was not pretty. Every monster in Crypt of the Necrodancer, then, has a very specific behavior which you must learn. That's cool. Do I need to heal at all before we go in? Not really. Oh, by the way, you don't have access to the Delphinus here, so if you needed to make any preparations, I hope you made them before you left, because otherwise you're a little SOL. I'll have Aka use Sacrum. That'll come in okay for us. We shouldn't really need our MP very much anyway, because we're about to go into a bunch of ship battles, so... Yeah, Daigo, save 10% or more on your car insurance. There you go. We are, in fact, ship out of luck. Yeah, there we go. The puns are just too high. It's okay, though. And every second enemy has some music name pun. Okay, there you go. So they really leaned into that whole using music as a mechanic thing. It bled so far out of control that it went into the enemy names, too. I do that, though, too. Like the story that I wrote for last week's writing prompt for Tale Foundry, the name of the main character in that one was Sierra because it was about rock climbing, so Sierra Nevada. And in addition to that, I tried to use a lot of, like, verbs that were earthy. Like, I specifically used the word petrified at the point in the story where the tension and the time goes full stop to show you that, like, last moment of concentration before they fall off the cliff face. So I specifically used the word petrified because it has an earth basis to it. So, I get it. They do that. The Reaper boss is called Death Metal. That's great. I like that. I like these developers. They sound like my kind of people. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can take your ship to get back to the Delphinus, and hopefully we can get in and get out pretty quickly. But you guys can sail from really high up, so that probably will help us get the element of surprise. I mean, we're above the clouds here, so that should give you an idea of the kind of... ambush that's waiting for them down there, because the Delphinus and all of the value in airships can't fly above the clouds yet, so. Must be nice that all spells cost 1 MP and no SP outside of combat. Man, I love this magic system. See, it works really well outside of combat for healing and stuff like that, because it's like, okay, well, Sacrum just costs 1 MP. Why should I use... I guess it kind of deteriorates the use of the older cure spells, though, because why would you ever use Sacri or Sacres if you have Sacrum, you know, but... I don't know. I mean, it makes sense because it's kind of a logical progression up in power, but... Yeah, we do kind of need the Delphinus to take down the value in airships, so... Yeah, we'll use that as a means of distraction, and we'll get the Delphinus back so we can take them out. Sending them packing. Yeah, for an exile, he has quite an army. Yeah, evidently, the king's decision to exile him did not go over well with a lot of people. It practically split their NPC count in half. So... no, she won't, because we're going behind you, Vigoro. He took my flag down, not my dolphin flag! Damn it, Fina, we're gonna have to get a new flag for you. How does he even know how to pilot this ship, anyway? Like, did the Valuans give him a school of thought on? I don't like his mouth. That's disgusting looking. Okay, get that away from me. Oh, and by the way, I mentioned that you should keep in mind that the boss of the area in Mount Kazai was a turtle, and Blueheim was a phoenix last time. I'm pretty sure somebody on the Skies of Arcadia development team had a thought about the Su Ling here, because... Tortigar was a turtle, you have the Draco, which is Vigoro's ship, and the Lynx, which is Beliza's ship, and then you have Blueheim, who is a phoenix. And my brain instantly connects the dots and says, oh, Genbu, Seiryu, Bayako, and Suzaku. I know a lynx isn't what Bayako is, but it is a vaguely gray-white animal, and Bayako is a white tiger, so... It's a reference, I think. Yeah, 4 Heavenly Kings. Yep, them. Forgot what you were going to say. Oh, now I remember. Hopefully I didn't just make you forget it again. Sorry, I just had a, had a brainlet there. He does not know. He will crash it in 5 minutes. Yeah, that's all the more reason we need to get it back. So. I mean, I don't think you need to do that for either of them. I'm pretty sure both of them are going to not like your policy of not killing people. Eventually. You know them from Persona? Yep, same thing. They made the same reference in Persona, yep. So, in most of Shin Megami Tensei 2, but yeah. Shin Megami Tensei 2. Shin Megami Tensei also. Shin Megami Tensei IF. No, anyway. before I get too off subject, let's actually watch the Armada battle so we can get the Delphinus back. But see what I mean about being scatterbrained? I hate this shit. Of course, Vigoro has a cannon that's, you know, fucking 20 feet long with a barrel that's bigger than he is. Why wouldn't he? Well, no. I mean, the Valuans are pretty good at entrenching themselves, so... Probably all the way in the back, so... Yep, we will board them and we will take it back. What are they doing here? Why are you at the... Oh boy. Are you here to take cover from the battle? Way to throw your son in the middle of the fire, dude. Oh, I don't like where this is going. Tell me he took the Blue Moon Crystal when he took over. Why wouldn't Beliza or Vigoro take it? Like, that just seems like an oversight on their part. Were they that busy? Okay, so then... Sounds like we need to make our way in, so... Oh, good. Are they planning on using the Moonstone Cannon to try to take us out? Because that could be an opportunity for us. And by close, I mean without getting us killed. But they don't know how to aim this damn thing because they don't know the ship, so...
We're counting on you, Captain.
Will do. I will make you proud. All right, team. Time for a boarding pass. Come on, Fina. We don't have a rope, so I'll just take you down the old-fashioned way. Enrique, are you going to jump into Aka's arms? Remember when Aka did that when we were in Valua on the train and she tried to jump and she face-planted? I guess the shoe's on the other foot now. She had to get her revenge somehow. I didn't read the chat. Now that we're in a static place, I can read chat. Here we go. You were about to ask, is this game going to pull a Code Geass Season 2, where they try to fucking pull the wool over your eyes and make it seem like there's all this strategy like Season 1, but then you fucking fire a fuck you laser and get rid of 40% of the enemy forces? I mean, I guess the Moonstone Cannon can kind of count for that, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to do specifically that, so. Fuse all 4 of them together to get the King of the Center area. Yeah, there you go. AK, do we get to fire the Moonstone Cannon? Yes. Idiot by a large amount. Yeah, ladies' man Vices. Well, I mean, at this point, either Aka or Fina would let him do that to them, so... How about we throw you off the ship? I'm in agreement with that. They even got my fucking deck shelled? Oh, that's it. You guys are dead. Nobody shells my ship, not even me. I mean, our ship has probably taken fire from several battles, but this is not okay. I just cleaned this thing. Then again, the Dark Rift probably put a bunch of nicks in it, but you know. Oh wow, these guys have a little bit of HP, don't they? They also put up one of them put up a counter stance, so I think it's this one, yeah. So they'll counterattack you. It's basically like Vice's Counter-Strike, so yeah. Excuse me, they'll counterattack you when you attack them regularly. I probably should have just saved up my SP for Rain of Swords, but, well, this is fine. We can probably take out the guys that have the lower health next turn and then go for Rain of Swords after that. Wind Slash! Glad it doesn't hit everybody. But yeah, these guys aren't too bad. This battle might be worth... Well, no, I'm going to say no, it probably isn't, because you have to sit through, like, a bunch of cutscenes to get back to this battle. But these guys have a chance, a small chance, mind you, but a chance nonetheless, of dropping an Aura of Valor for you to use. And those are in very limited supply throughout the game, so if you can get them, it's probably a good idea to do that. So I'm going to use Noxus, because what the hell, you know? Why not? So who do you think gets Vice by the end? AK, you're trying to ignite the shipping wars. About to say, pretty sure... Ally, oh yeah. It could be that Daigo or his friends shot at my ship. Yeah, that's a possibility. Oh wow, that actually did pretty good damage. Holy shit. Probably because they're blue element. So that's why it did so much. Because green does pretty good against blue element. Not the opposite way, but yeah. Who gets Vice by the end? That's a fair question. You should ask the fandom that, because I'm pretty sure they will tell you multiple different answers. So. The childhood friend always loses. It usually does seem to happen that way, doesn't it? It's kind of unfortunate. I mean, in this case, it's like, Fina is more exotic, so most people would probably say, oh, Fina wins out in the end. But hey, the game's not over yet. Maybe Eika has some trick up her sleeve. We'll see. Anyway, let's get our ship back. I don't know where they kept my crew at, but hopefully we get them back too, because I'm going to need to use the ship to actually do stuff after this. You personally hope for Beliza? No, I mean, that's a fair point. She has shown an interest, although she has shown an interest in somebody else, but anyway. Okay, he probably locked my crew in there, so that's just great. Yeah, she's, unfortunately, Beliza's heart is with someone else, but we'll get into who that is later, so. Oh, you thought they were siblings? You mean Vice and Eika? Is that what you mean? Yeah, I could see that being the, you know, the thought process, basically, because they treat each other like brother and sister, honestly. So they're not brother and sister. Eika was adopted by Vice's father, so I guess in a way they're like half brother, half sister. But I don't know. The fandom still seems to ship them together all the time, so I don't know, whatever. These guards are yellow element, right? Let's see. Yeah, so Pyras should work pretty good against them. It won't be super effective, but it will do neutral damage, so. Yeah, Vice and Eika. Yeah, they're like half siblings because Eika's family was killed a long time ago, so Vice's family adopted her. So that's how that works. Marry Piastel so she stops killing us. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. If we can win her over. Oh, you almost spoiled something? Oh, that's okay. No big deal. Would have been my own fault if I said it from you priming me, so don't worry about it if you almost spoiled something, it's fine. And step-siblings is wrong enough to say no. Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. That's why... I mean, I don't really ship Vice with anybody in this game, but if I had to pick the person that I would say I ship him with, I would probably pick Fina, because there's no squick there, you know? It's not like, oh, well, they could be family, and not in the way that romantic interest leads to, like it was with Eika. So. It's almost why in Final Fantasy XII, I don't like when people pair Vaughn and Penelo up, because they're meant for each other, but not in like a boyfriend-girlfriend family kind of way in my mind. They're basically brother and sister because they grew up together, so that relationship is not really something that could allow them, in my mind, to be lovers, but, I mean, it depends on the story, I guess. I don't know. And we got a Moonberry out of that. We didn't get an Aura of Valor, but we got a Moonberry. That's just great. Eika, why don't you top us off real quick? We'll give you a, Ooh, actually, I can give you a Magic Dew, and I can use the last 5 Magic Droplets on Fina, because I think she's down 5 MP, right? Yeah, she is. Good. Unfortunately, the Delphinus doesn't have a save point on it, but that's okay. There we go. Oh, not for this game, for another game? Okay, got rid of a ton of text. There you go. Okay. Well, sorry it almost happened. Get the secret ending of Revenant Wings? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Now the developers are going to tell me that my idea of Squick is canon, aren't they? Great. Well, we'll give that other Cham to Cupel before we move in here. There is a boss fight coming up in this room against Miraji, but I'm pretty sure it's not very substantial. I actually have a strategy for it that's a little bit different from what we normally do, though, so that should be fun. Let's see what happens, shall we? Yeah, this is not your ship to fly a flag in, sir. You stole this! Nobody steals my ship, not even me, except I did steal my ship, so that reference doesn't make sense. You're not so tough. I'll just sick these guards on you that couldn't kill you before. Not very noble of him, is it, Enrique? I'm glad he's finding his backbone, because with all the air sickness he had on the way here, it sure didn't feel like he had much of a spine. But here it is! Alright, let's take him down. You can't stop laughing. Have fun with Revenant Wings. The entire plot, not just the endings. Oh boy. Oh boy. Are Sylvites even 100% human? For all you know, she is some half-elf shit. Does she have pointed ears? I forget. I think her hair covers it up, but she might have pointed ears. So we'll see. Alright, so Miraji, you're blue element? Yes, you are. Alright, I'm going straight for the throat. Sorry, man, but this is not okay. Actually, I don't think I can go straight for the throat just yet. I think I gotta wait because I gotta do... What do I gotta do this turn? I gotta give Vice a Glyph of Might, so let's do that first and foremost. I probably should give one to Enrique as well so I can let him get the final blow, because that just makes sense. And, oh wait, hang on, Fina. Pointy ears? No, not pointy ears. Rounded ears. So, not exactly elf. I mean, I wouldn't say she's 100% human anyway. Sylvites are kind of their own thing. Kind of like Lunarians, I would say, would be the closest resemblance in my mind. Would be Lunarians from Final Fantasy IV. I also want to actually have Aika do something else. We're going to use Driln! For the first and probably one of the only times in regular boss fights, we're going to use Driln in this fight. Why? Well, you'll see in a moment. And that means I need Enrique to use a Glyph of Might on himself, so let's do that. Alright, now Aika, get your turn before Miraji, please. Thank you. So Miraji is susceptible to Driln. I think it's a fairly high chance, too. And the nice thing about Driln, you'll see in a minute. Okay, it missed. That's unfortunate. The nice thing about Driln is if you can get it to stick on somebody who uses buffs, not only will it dispel their buffs, it will also prevent them from buffing themselves again unless they can dispel the Driln. And Miraji cannot do that, so yeah, this should work pretty good. Ah, yes, the power of love. It overcomes all boundaries, even the ones that we would think are a little bit out there. Half-elf? What is this? Tales of Fantasia? Oh, half-elves get treated like shit in the Tales series. I hope not. Your only experience with Tales of Fantasia is the GB8 port. Please don't crucify you. And I mean, that's fine. I haven't even played Fantasia, so I couldn't tell you how to feel about it, so... Alright, I'm going to still try to get it to stick. He guarded last turn, so maybe that's why it missed, but I'm going to still try to get Driln to stick on him. And, let's see. We took a little damage. I can use a Sacrum Crystal. We've got a few of them. And then you can... maybe I'll have you use Driln as well to try to get it to stick on him. Silena's might also work on him, so maybe I should try that too. Nah, it's fine. We'll go after his guards, though, in a minute. I just gotta do this. Oh, you know what I should probably do is I probably should equip the Warrior's Heart so I get more SP back. So, there we go. So now, when he tries to buff himself, which he inevitably will, as far as I'm aware, he won't be able to, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to see that in action in about 2 seconds. Nice. He'll also take 25% more damage from our physical attacks now, so that's going to put him in pretty bad shape. Or good shape, depending on whose side of the battlefield you're on. Nice. Now we should be able to knock everybody out with the Rain of Swords next turn, so... Ow. Know exactly how they get treated. Remember, Symphonia is a prequel to Fantasia, yeah. So it probably was even... It probably gets worse. So... But yeah, see how Incrum missed there? It normally has a 100% hit rate, but because we got Driln on him, he can't buff himself. Which is really nice. Boy, I wish the game kept that for some of the other boss fights. Unfortunately, the vast majority of bosses in this game are both immune to Driln and have access to Incrum if they're from the Legends update, so you can't just do that as a means of counteracting their effects. And it's very unfortunate. I should probably have Enrique get the final blow, shouldn't I, on Miraji? Oh well. Vice can do it. It's no big deal. Hell, he might not even be able to get rid of them with Rain of Swords due to counter stance. We'll see. Show him what you got, Vice. Yeah, didn't think so. But Miragi's down, so that's good. Next thing you know, we're in the world of Disgaea. Yeah, that would be an interesting little place to be, that's for sure. How long does Drone last? Forever. As if they can't dispel it, it lasts forever. Just like how Incrum lasts forever if it cannot be dispelled. Incrum has a problem, though, and it's probably why it's more balanced than Drilln, is because it can be overridden by some things, like Drilln and Stone and Sleep can override Incrum. Drilln cannot be overridden by anything, which is why so many bosses try to use it against you, and why you using it against bosses is probably not so balanced, but I don't know. Them being able to use Incrum with no repercussion seems unbalanced in their favor, so... But maybe I'm just silly. I don't know. Okay, so Vice, how about everybody goes after this soldier with low HP, and then Enrique, let's put it away, shall we? Especially since he's using a counter stance. Okay, they're both using a counter stance. We might not put it away this turn. We'll see. This one should die, but the other one, maybe not. Let's see what Enrique can do, though. Now, if I had his final move, it would make it a lot easier to put them away, but apparently he doesn't care. He put them away anyway. So, that's good. Does not seem dangerous, buffed or not. Yeah, no, he's not dangerous in the slightest. It's probably why Drilln is effective on him, because the only thing he does is he buffs himself with Incrum and Quicka, and then he casts Sacres over and over and over again on himself until you kill him, so... He doesn't really do anything in battle. He just tries to stall the battle out until you're really frustrated and you use Pirate's Wrath on him, so... yeah. Oh, 4 Magic Dew. That's kind of nice, actually. Yeah, the rest of Miragi's life. It's terminal. He is already dead. It's Nullify buff in Grand Order, but no timer. That's busted AF. Yeah. So I guess that's why they don't let you use it on the super bosses from the Legends update, but again, it just seems like... It just unbalances it in their favor when they can cast Incrumus willy-nilly, and you can I mean, you can dispel it later in the game yourself, but I don't know. To me, that just seems not... Like, it would be cool if you could use Drilln and make them more manageable, because then they wouldn't be so luck-oriented. But, oh well. Yeah, who are you going to call for help now? I'm pretty sure most of your help either abandoned ship or died. Oh boy. Excuse me. Yeah, in jail. Good on you, Enrique. This is important, by the way. It's important that Enrique doesn't kill him, because if he killed him, he'd be stooping to his mother's level, and he knows he doesn't want to do that, so... In any case, we'll hold him hostage while we take out the rest of the ships, so... He's a self-preservation boss. That's so typical, yeah. Well, it sounds correct for him, considering what he does. He's just a little shitlord, so... And he doesn't actually do anything that's threatening. He just tries to keep himself alive. So, at least the boss fight reflects on how he behaves in the story, you know? Well, yeah, it's because the cannon on the front of it reminds you of Vigoro's codpiece. So, that's why. You could say that again. Okay, well, let's take out their ships then. Once we take out Beliza and Vigoro, we're flying our flag again, by the way. They should all fall in order and leave. Alright, let's give Vigoro, what's the opposite of Viagra? I don't know, but a vasectomy will probably do as well. I can probably vasectomize him with my giant laser. By the way, I didn't mention it before, but I really like this theme that plays when you're fighting the admirals or a Gigas in the ship battles. It's called Bombardment 2, in case anyone wants to go look it up. It's really good. So. Oh wow, Moonstone Cannon on multiple turns? Man, you're too generous, Figaro. Okay, so... Okay, yeah, we can't use Arala just yet. We need 15 SP to actually use her command, but... When you use her command, she maxes out your spirit points like an Aura of Valor, so, yeah, that's really good, and we're gonna use that, so just maybe not yet, that's all. So he's probably going to use the cannon on that first turn, but that's okay. We should be fine. I'm going to want to... Let's see. Probably going to want to have you fire the 10-inch cannon coil here, because I'm going to use the Moonstone Cannon there. Maybe... No, I don't think I want to go all that way. I definitely want to do this, though. So that'll use 4 SP this turn and 4 SP next turn. Can you cast Drill and still get it to stick? Maybe. Will I have enough for the Moonstone Cannon next turn if I do that, though? Let's see. Maybe. Maybe I will. I should probably just Gear Grease, it's fine. Because eventually we want to use Arala, so... We'll just do some Gear Greasing. We can always heal next turn if we need to. I think you said it before, but you like bosses that can or are unable to fight and have a lot of minions. Yeah, I mean, again, if it makes sense for them to do that in the story, then I kind of like it, because I've always enjoyed when games use their mechanics to tell the story and to reflect upon the story of the game. So, I can agree with it. I think it gets annoying in some cases. Like, sometimes developers don't know when to stop with that, but in cases where it reflects upon who the character is in the story, how they behave in battle, yes, I like that then, so. Alright, well, let's grease up. Might not even need to use Arala for right now, because we don't have enough SP to use her command at the beginning of the battle, so. Alright, let's see what else you've got, Vigoro. As you can see, there's a bunch of situations where you pass him in this battle. You almost play chicken with him, except he goes over you, so that's why we can fire the Moonstone Cannon so easily. Oh, nice, and he missed all of his shots. That's also very good. Alright, let's see if we can get a pot shot off. Okay, not bad. He's probably got about 44,000, 47,000 HP, judging by that damage. In Demon's Souls, it would be Legion. Yeah, so the first boss in the Bolitarian Castle area, right? If I remember correctly. So. Alright, sounds like a good time to go fire the Moonstone Cannon, so let's do that. I should probably have Arala use her command in a minute as well. So we'll do that. Does Sacrum heal more in this battle? Oh, it can't be used in ship battles. Okay, well that's unfortunate. Or do I have Kirala go? Because using Kirala as a command, she fully restores your ship's HP for 7 SP, so... That's pretty nice. That's the slime thing, the weird slime thing. Yep, that's it. So probably just different names in different regions, that's all. But yeah, we're on the same page there, then. Aka, I might have you use the cannon coil again, because we'll probably have enough to Moonstone Cannon again next turn, so... I should probably also fire a torpedo at some point. I might not have enough to fire a torpedo, so I'll just keep shooting the Moonstone Cannon, and then we'll go from there. We'll use Kirala, it's fine. Gear Grease just, I mean, it doesn't cost anything, so that's why it kind of seems to work pretty well in these cases. At least I think so, anyway. So, yeah, I'll just do that. That works. Alright, face-to-face showdown is what you want, huh? Well, let's see how you like this.
Moonstone Cannon, fire!
He didn't like that. Everybody liked that, except Vigoro. Okay, so he's probably firing the Draco Cannon on that third turn. So, it's okay, we'll figure it out. Not a big deal. He usually fires the Draco Cannon once per turn on one of the red squares. It just kind of depends on what turn, so... Thank you, Kirala. I would have preferred if you would have done that after the Draco Cannon, but hey, I can always heal it off later. Because this is going to hurt a little bit, actually. Probably do like 15,000 damage. It's okay, I can always heal next turn if he lives long enough. Probably won't, but, well, you know. Yeah, that's pretty good ship. His ship has got damage, even though I don't like it. He also keeps losing his secondary cannons. You really should keep a leash on those, Vigoro. But he's almost down. He'll be down next turn, even if I don't use the Moonstone Cannon. But probably just for the sake of, you know, ensuring he's dead, I should probably use the Moonstone Cannon again. I don't think you've got a prayer, sir. Just saying. All right. Yeah, you know what? If he somehow lives this, we can Sacred. That's fine. And then we'll do a deluxe kit, and then we'll do Gear Grease. That's not Gear Grease. There we go. Your delusions of grandeur end here, Vigoro.
Moonstone cannon, fire!
You were curious once and Googled Legion as a demon. Apparently it was roughly something of one man being possessed by many demons who spoke as one. Yeah, so it's almost like a hive mind, sort of. They're inhabiting one body, but it's a number of minds. It was a very interesting concept as a demon. It's been used in a lot of different games as a frame of reference for people when they design demons, actually. So you'd be surprised how many games use that as a means of looking at stuff. So that's a lot of money and a lot of experience, but no magic experience, but that's okay. We also got a Captain Stripe, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to use that just yet because we've got one more ship to get through first. So... yeah, that's true. It isn't always referenced well. It's a good idea, but it's kind of, yeah, sometimes they reference it well, sometimes they don't. I'm looking at you, FE12. Oh my god. Yeah, Legion's subchapter, guidance chapter in FE12 is... oh. Who thought that was a good idea? No one. Kaga thought it was a good idea, and that's why it was not a good idea. Oh boy. Well, yeah, I've got the best ship in the Armada on my side, so... I don't know, we've taken you out once before, Beliza, so I'm kind of convinced that you won't. Wow. Some weird strong wind? What is that? Whatever it is, it's blowing them off. Oh, no. Now I know why Kangan was over at Mount Kazai! Also, I need to mute chat so I can take a thumbnail. Well, not mute chat, but take it off the screen. Oh, that's not good. I'm pretty sure he woke the Phoenix. Yeah, great. Phenomenal. So, Miraji, you threw your son at us as a distraction because he was also expendable to your plans, so that you could summon the Blue Gigas. That's just great. And now he looks like a balloon animal. Fun. You really like Legion as an army boss type of an enemy? Yeah, it's a cool idea. I enjoy it. Hell, it's where they got the idea for the Phalanx from, if Roman myth is to be believed, so... Actually, no, I think Legion was referenced... Wasn't Legion first referenced in Dante's Inferno? So maybe they just looked at it in, like, a reverse... inspiration type of deal. Like, they were like, oh, of course the Phalanx came out of the idea of Legion, because Dante's Inferno did it. I don't know. I think I have my mythology mixed up, as usual. Well, Blueheim's definitely got the wind on his side. Yeah. I hope the Delphinus can hold. Take Vigoro with us and get the hell out of here. And yeah, now it's not even a matter of trapping him or encasing him in a river or anything like that. We have to kill the Blue Gigas with the Delphinus, because there is nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, and the volcano is no longer active, so here we go. Besides that, it makes no sense to name him Legion. You could name him Carl, and his backstory would make more sense than calling him Legion. Wasn't his name Roro originally? Actually, like, I think they switched it to Legion, even though it wasn't actually Legion originally. I forget. Or maybe I'm thinking of the original translation, it was Roro, and then they switched it to Legion in the later translation. I think I played the earlier translation where it was Roro, though, so maybe I'm thinking of it reverse. And that time we defeated her in a very outdated ship, yeah, so it wouldn't have, you know, worked out so well for her. But now we've got the Phoenix to fight, and yeah, he'll fight with wind and water attacks. Although I think it's mostly, like, lightning, now that I think about it. So he's more of a storm elemental. I'm pretty sure I remember his weakness, but we'll see. Yes, they fucking ruined it with the localization of Awakening. Oh, yeah, because Awakening called him Legion. Yeah, now I remember. Oh, boy. Alright, so the way that this works, basically, is that he's very evasive, kind of like the Tenku spell ship. So you want to hit him on your chance turns, because that's where you'll get the most accuracy out of your attacks. So that's what we're going to do. Excuse me. I probably want a torpedo as well. I'm going to need to heal, so I should probably do that and Appa Wax. So let's do a deluxe kit, and we'll do Appa Wax here. Here's how it went. Tell me. I will listen as he tries to blast me out of the sky. Wow, he is really fast. Look at him fly. Phoenix Ray. He's got quite a few storm attacks, actually, as it turns out, so hopefully they don't do too much damage. I think it's kind of like Grendel, though, like where it's like he's got a lot of attacks that look really powerful, and then they'll do like 6,000 damage or something. So, but yeah, he's quick, very quick, so make your shots count on the turns where you can use them, so. Here's how it went. Aramaya goes through the thing with her orphanage burning to the ground and everyone but her dying in the blaze. When she started a new orphanage, she already became a cultist and started building her assassin corps. Oh yeah, that's right. They had an assassin corps made of orphans. Man, FE12 went some fucking places. She found a boy who had a ton of talent and locked him in a lightless basement to force him to do what she wanted. And he ended up with... Didn't he end up with, like, dissociative identity disorder or something like that? And that's how Legion came about in FE12? And, like, the Gaiden chapter's gimmick is that you try to fight him and you have to pick the correct one because otherwise you're just fighting his shadow, and they all have killer axes or something, or devil axes, so they just viciously maul you if you don't hit the right one. God, FE12 was something. Oh, that did pretty good damage. He's probably got 100,000, 110,000 HP based on that, so... Yeah, he's quick, though, I'll tell you what. He's got something going on there. So we really kill him, so that means the people get to keep the blue crystal because there's no Gigas to control. Yes. Yeah, so if we manage to kill him, yes, they can actually keep the blue crystal because then they don't have to worry about the Gigas showing back up. So I guess it's kind of a win-win in that way. See, I want a torpedo again on the C turn, but I also need to make sure that I have enough HP to survive, A, and B, I need to have enough gear grease to use the Moonstone Cannon next turn, so... I'll fire the Yamato Spirit here, but I think I'm gonna, like, work on gear greasing and everything else while I'm doing that, so... Let's do a deluxe kit here, actually, and we'll do some gear grease on these turns. Or do I want to have Kerala go? Maybe I'll have Kerala go and I'll fire the torpedo. Maybe we'll do it that way. Let's do this. And then we'll have some gear grease and Kerala can heal us like at the end of the turn. How about that? And then down here, Kerala. And yeah, that should be good. We should have plenty of SP next turn to use all the stuff. She eventually found more diamonds in the rough, other orphans, and locked him in the basement with the original kid. When she left him out for missions, it was just him. Whenever she fed them, it was only him. So other kids decided to willingly give up their own identities to not die down there, which created an army of him, hence the masks. Oh, yeah, he does. He wears the mask. And wow, I don't think FE12 ever got into any of that. That's surprisingly dark. I mean, I guess not surprisingly, but... very dark for something that the game doesn't get into at all. So. Did they get into that more in the original, in FE3? Because I don't remember FE12 ever even mentioning any of that stuff. Probably because Legion was terminally insane by the time you found him and fought him in that Gaiden chapter, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll have plenty of SP for next turn. Will probably be in the 40s somewhere. And there is a gimmick to how this works. I will demonstrate what it is on the next turn, because if you do the gimmick correctly, you can fire the Moonstone Cannon basically every single turn. So, yeah. Aramaya and her assassins were an FE12 original. They and Chris were not in FE3. Yeah, that's right, because they didn't have the those two in FE3, because the created character thing was only done for FE12, so... You said purple, yellow, and silver were pretty fast chapters. Purple and yellow are fast chapters. Silver is probably about normal. It'll probably take us between like 3 and 4 streams, but purple should take us only 1, and yellow should take us only 1, so... Yeah, just, you can use that to do some calculation. Alright, so here's how this is gonna work. We're gonna fire the Moonstone Cannon. And then, after that... Let's see, do I want to put all my money on the chance turns? I think I do. Actually. So, yeah, do a coil. And then I'm going to have you guard here. I know Fina guarding seems a little weird, but it should still be okay. I don't know if we're going to get to fire the Moonstone Cannon next turn. I don't know if we'll have enough SP, because I'm going to use the Yamato Spirit on this chance turn as well. Or maybe I should just use a torpedo instead of the secondary cannon. Yeah, that's probably a better idea, actually. And then Fina can guard over here, and then Enrique can... No, you know what? We haven't had Fina fire the Moonstone Cannon yet. Let's let her do that, actually. And we'll let Vice guard, because he's probably got better defense than Enrique. So you do the torpedo, put it there. We'll let you fire the Moonstone Cannon. There we go. And then Enrique, you can do... that. Yeah, let's do that. We probably still won't have enough SP to fire the Moonstone Cannon next turn, but by guarding on that last turn, it does something special that we'll see in just a moment. So, gimmick is to harm its wings. I mean, that's pretty much true, yeah. If we cripple his wings, it would make it a lot easier to fight him, so... That means we have to go back to value at some point, and then what? Blow up the yellow seal and then get the crystal. Yeah, pretty much that's basically how the yellow chapter goes. Yeah, blow up the seal, get the crystal. I mean, we have the Moonstone Cannon now, so it's not really out of the question. So, okay, little chip, that'll work. And Moonstone Cannon next turn will do about 20k, so he won't be dead, but we'll be getting there. So, yeah, see how he's preparing an attack? They kind of trick you on the secondary Moonstone Cannon turn, because I think he prepares an attack specifically for that turn, and it doesn't indicate that he's going to, so... But we'll see what happens. Oh, he looks like he's in a little pain. Sorry, big guy, but yeah, that's... Okay, well, it wasn't 20k, it was 16k, but still, that's okay. It's good damage. Oh, that's why, because he was using evasive action, because it would have done more after if he wasn't guarding. It's okay, though. We wanted to do that on that turn specifically, because he'll use blue winds on this turn. Yeah, the thing that just blew the value winds out of here, he will use it on us. And if we're guarding, well, watch what happens. We do get blown away, still, but we only take a little bit of damage, so we don't get blown all the way off course. That's the gimmick. If we had not guarded on that last turn there, what would have happened is blue winds would have thrown us way off course, and then those 2 red turns would have come up on the next turn. But since we only got thrown back a little bit from guarding, we can handle a big blast of offensive attack, so... But enough talk! Have at you! Alright, we got a chance turn right here. It would have been nice if I would have gotten a bunch of other stuff off, but that's okay. We can just get it off here. And then next turn, I'm probably going to want to fire off the Moonstone Cannon again. So we should probably Oppa Wax up in anticipation of that. And yeah, then we'll go from there. We'll get some gear grease going. I know I've got Arala, and I should be using her, but I just don't have the SP for it yet. So, let's see. Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine. I was thinking about how I wanted to shoot for the next turn, but we'll think about that more next turn. What they should have done at some point was you get the crystal and get away, no problem, and then they come back for a trivial matter where the crystal is stolen and then the Gigas battle. And by later, I mean 2 different Gigases in between. Yeah, that's a thought, right? I mean, then they could, you know, it seems like, oh, we got away scot-free with this one, and then it's like, oh, shit. It would have been a nice subversion, right? So, yeah, I could get on board with that. But hey, there's still 3 crystals left, so you never know. We might still get into a situation that's like that. There is still time. I mean, this game is long, but there is still time. This, by the way, is one of the more annoying Gigas battles in the game. From what I understand, this one trips up speedrunners all the time because he can either be really forgiving or he can be really, really obnoxious. So, depending on how much he avoids your attacks. So, we'll see what happens next turn. That'll probably determine whether this will be good or bad. Excuse me. Look at him go! Nice prepping and attack. I don't know if I like that. Ship battles get long by this point. Yeah, they're pretty long and tricky after a while. Just think about how long the final boss fight's going to be when the inevitable ship battle happens near that. Good lord. Alright, so he prepped and then assessed damage instead of actually attacking, because this is not a turn where he'll use blue winds. This turn, however, he will, but will he get the chance to use it? Probably not, actually. Let's use this, and then we'll let Enrique fire the Moonstone Cannon. How about that? That should be fun. And we'll let Fina guard again. I know I'm a little low on HP, but it's all right. We'll be fine, I think. I can live a little dangerously. Oh, my coil! This isn't a chance turn. That's why it was lost. Probably should have just torpedoed. But yeah, we're still good. Not great, but we're still good. Alright, come on around, big guy. I mean, you can do that too, but come on around closer to the ship so I can blast you. I need a clear shot. I'm living a little dangerously, don't worry about it, I got it. There we go, perfect. And now the Moonstone Cannon should finish him off. I know what you're prepping. It's not going to work. This day, I'm clipping your wings, Blueheim.
Moonstone Cannon, fire!
Goodbye. I kind of like the fact that they have him have an in-pain animation when you fire the Moonstone Cannon at him, because it makes him feel more biological. Like, he was a weapon created by the people using the Moonstone crystals for destruction, but he's still biological at the end of the day, so I don't know, it makes you feel bad, but not much, because if he stayed alive, he would probably cause untold havoc and destruction. So, it's bad, but it's good, in a way. It makes me feel bad, but not by much, so... Oh, Enrique got Spirit that level, that's nice. Oh, and we got 2 Captain Stripes we can use now, so there you go. You like the Gigas designs, but this just feels like padding after a few turns. There's a reason people turn off animations in Fire Emblem. Yeah, actually, I do that too. When we play Fire Emblem for the stream at one point, you're going to see that. I turn off animations for every regular fight in every chapter. I only use animations for boss fights. I did that starting in Awakening, and I have never been able to play the game normally since. So... Oh, and you're going to be just as much of a shrimp as your kid, huh? Something tells me that's not going to work. Sick 'em, Daigo! Don't you mean surrender and die? Oh, no, wait, that's Haven City. Never mind. Define normally, you gave up on animations years ago. So, when I mean normal battles, I mean anything that's not the boss of the chapter, basically. Actually, if there's like a a major character in there where you're fighting, I also do animations on that fight. Like, I'm trying to think of what an example is. Like, if there's a named character that's not just like a soldier in their army that you're fighting, then I usually do animations for that fight too. But yeah, you're welcome. Now please don't keep the blue moon crystal in a place where somebody can just like take it. And yeah, there's also that, so. Yeah, my country's a little divided at the moment. Fair point, yeah, so we're gonna have to hopefully get ahead of them, so. Might use them for a few chapters, but you gave up on animations pretty fast. Like, use them to see abilities activate, but otherwise, yeah, I guess that's a good way to do it, too, with seeing abilities activate, so that's nice to help out. Oh, okay, so they're going to let us have it. Cool. Yeah, I was going to say, isn't it important for the line of succession? But, well, I think at this point, King Mikado understands that Daigo meant well. Looks like the family matter was settled. Cool. I hope he doesn't lose his adventuring spirit in the process, though. Yeah, are they in jail, or... Oh, okay. Well, we already kind of had a jail for them, so we've just got Exile Island. I mean, yeah, I guess either way you guys win, so... Wah, wah. Yeah, sometimes it's better to just do that, you know, to trap them in a place where they have to think about what they did. Yeah, actually, that's a fair point. We can't go to the high points that all of your ships can. What do you got? Oh, yeah, we do have a couple of accomplished engineers back at Crescent Isle who would be very interested in looking at this. Cool. Thanks muchly. That's probably the best gift we got here, because Upper Sky and Lower Sky are very nice places. You will see why soon enough. What's up, Mogi? Oh, okay. Gonna go... He opened his eyes. Oh my god. Gonna go make your way in the world somewhere else? Probably by Enrique's side. So you're gonna go help us defend the rest of the country. Yeah, everywhere else. They're just gonna be like, well, we already know that you have the hots for Enrique, so that's cool. Hey, Gravy Bay, how you doing? Welcome back. We just finished up the Blue Moon Crystal quest, so we're just doing the last little bits here. Pretty much necessary for some FEs like Path of Radiance or its sequel. Yeah, to see the abilities, yeah. Like, Dragonfang already has a long animation in Fates, but at the same time it has a separate critical hit animation. Fuck! It does, doesn't it? It's a long critical hit animation, too. Also, you think that animation is more for close range? It might be sword-locked. Okay, for Dragonfang, yeah. Maybe. I don't know, it's been a long time since I played Fates, so I couldn't tell you. Will do. You have a big responsibility now, Prince. Again, chivalry isn't dead with him, though. Damn, they're already, like, deep into it. This is, like, past second base. Well, maybe not past it. Probably pretty close, though. Yeah, maybe that's not something we should mention in the, yeah, in the vicinity of his new girlfriend. Wah, wah. Alright, time to go home. Get back to Crescent Isle and we'll figure out where we're going next. Alright, so we got the Blue Moon Crystal and the book on polarity. And we also got Mogi, who is a new delegate. I think Pinta is our other delegate, if I remember right. He's better because he's an attacker rather than a healer. Mogi is a healer, so she gets you back SP, or not SP, HP when you use Blue Rogues. I guess I should probably mention how that works, shouldn't I? Because we haven't mentioned how Blue Rogues works yet. So the way that it works is when you use the Blue Rogues command, when you have maximum SP, and you can use either Prophecy or Blue Rogues, If you use blue rogues, all of the members of your active crew will attack the enemy. Or heal you, depending on who they are. Like, for example, Urala is our cook, so she will heal us because she's not really adept in battle. Same with, like, Osman, a merchant, wouldn't really be adept in battle. But people like Kazim or Lawrence or Kirala or Pau, believe it or not, will attack the enemy. And the way that it works is, for every attacker, they do 10 times your SP in damage, and for every healer, they do 10 times your SP in healing. So if you have, let's say, 7 attackers and 4 defenders, and you have, what would that be, like 45 SP. So you have 7 attackers. I did an odd number, damn it. Now I got to do math. So 900, 1800, so it'd be like, what, 2350, I think? No, hang on, 900, 1800, 2700 for 6, and then we add 450 to that, which would be 3150. So if you had 7 attackers and 4 healers and you had 45 SP, you'd do 3,150 damage, and you would heal for 1,800 HP. So, depending on what you might need healing a little more, you might need attacking a little more, but you have to make that judgment call before the battle because you can't switch crew members in the middle of a fight. So, yeah. It just depends on who you like, really. Just use the crew that you like the best, like design-wise or effect-wise. It really doesn't matter if they attack or heal. You'll get plenty more HP from them than you would normally get out of any other healing method anyway, other than Sacralin, so yeah. Let's see. You kind of want to play Fates again, but you feel like you won't enjoy it, and you'd have to play Conquest. You could not play Revelation again. That stealth chapter's fucking bullshit, because normally you just stay out of range, but on hard, you have to fucking stay out of the current and the next turn's range of the enemies, which makes moving really hard to do. Yeah, I get that. I've gone on record in saying that I actually enjoyed Conquest up to Chapter 10 in Fates, and after that I just couldn't get into it for any of the other stuff. I couldn't get into it for Birthright at all. I couldn't get into it for Revelations at all. But Fates, Conquest rather, I got into it up to Chapter 10, and then after that I was kind of like, okay, this is not my cup of tea. And I mean, it's fine, you know. Sometimes it's your cup of tea, sometimes it's not, but yeah, for me, I just couldn't get into it. Hey, so thanks for taking us to Malkazai, man. That really helped out. Well, I mean, there's a bunch of other wonders we have to go do in the world, so... And we could still use some of your merchandise, because we still don't have 15 SP to use Urala at the beginning of the fight. So, we could use a little help. Deluxe kit's probably a good idea. We'll get some more gear grease. I think I needed 7. Yep. And I think I might have some stuff to sell as well. Don't really need Sacred Crystals, that's fine. Could use a few Glyphs of Might. We'll get there in a minute, but here's a Windsong Orb for you. And then, let's see, Roma High Fish are good, Gruel are good, we got a bunch of Magic Dew. I need the Suiron Blade for later. Oh yeah, we got a Moonlight Robe, that's probably, yeah, better than the Miracle Robe. Oh yeah, definitely, it gives her dodge, definitely better. Well, we'll give that to Fina in just a moment. Let's see. I might sell these Gems of Fluidity, to be honest, because at this point I don't think we're ever going to use them again. I mean, they protect against stone, but I don't think we're going to need them. So, I'm going to kick myself the next time we fight Piastel and she stones everybody, but oh well. I'll also sell this Eye of Truth because we don't need that either. Is the Warrior's Rune? Yeah, that's the old one. I don't really need that either, even though it's only 10, I'm going to sell it. Just to free up a little inventory, you know. Let's see. Revelations was the gimmick version of the game. You hear Revelations got a little too funky with the chapter gimmicks. Some of them are really cool, some of them suck. You only play through Conquest all the way. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of indifferent to a lot of the stuff Revelations did. It was... The reason why I didn't like Fates in general is because you could solo the entire game with Corrin attached to the hip to one of his advisors? Whatever those the people are called, the butler and maid that are with him. You could attach him at the hip to them, or attach them. Corrin could be either male or female, but you could attach them at the hip to one of their retainers. That's what it is. And they could solo the whole game, with the exception of Conquest Chapters 7 through 10. That's why I enjoyed those, because you actually had to use strategy. But the other stuff, not so much. Most infamously, the snow shoveling map. See, I don't even remember the snow shoveling map. I must have scrubbed it from my memory. That's how bad it was. Oh boy. Anyway, we can head home now. We've got the Blue Moon Crystal, we got Mogi, and I'm pretty sure Pinta was our other delegate, so I probably won't have Mogi be in my crew just because I usually prefer attacking over healing on the Blue Rogue's attack, but I might change my mind. You never know. Really, I'm only ever going to use Blue Rogues like once or twice in the entire game length, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. So, alright, back to home sweet home. Wasn't 10 the map where you get Camilla in Conquest? Because that map hurts and is fun. 10 was the one where you had to defend yourself in the port, where you had the cannons that you could use to shoot at the Hoshiden soldiers, because Takumi, that was the first time Takumi attacked you, if I remember correctly. And you had to defend. There was like 4 separate points of entry that the Hoshidans could get into. And yeah, so then you had to defend it. And sometimes it was a little tricky. So, yeah, it is. I think, yeah, you're right. I think it is the one where you get Camilla. And it was a really well done map. It was, I honestly, after playing that, I was like, actually, Conquest is probably going to be pretty good if this keeps up. And then it didn't keep up. Fair question, actually. We should probably, yeah, go back to Crescent Isle so we can modify the Delphinus. Well, we could go back through the Dark Rift, but, you know, Beliza did mention that they came here through a hole in the rift, in the reef, the stone reef to the west of Horteka, so how about we try heading east? Sure, but eventually, if what she said is true, the world will wrap around on itself and we'll get back there closer. Yes, so that's the idea. Yeah, so this is kind of similar to how it was in Custom Robo. I actually infamously used it as the thumbnail at one point. All the characters in Custom Robo's world, at least in A New Journey, thought that the world was flat because they all lived, you know, in a dome where the world was flat. But the world, as it turns out, was round because they were only living in a small part of the world. Same thing in Skies of Arcadia, but in this case, it's because the rifts and the sky rifts around the whole world are keeping people from exploring and wrapping around the other side. We'll talk about why Valua hasn't shared that information in a little bit. Let's get through the cutscene before I start talking about fascism. So, yeah, especially when the twist happens. Isn't the twist on that map where all of a sudden there's like 7 billion soldiers that show up on like one of the later turns and they're like really close to the choke point? I can't remember, but I do remember it getting pretty hairy after a while. So, yeah, so Valua actually knows that the world is a sphere because they've used geological surveys to figure that out and make everything connected on either side. Why does no one else know this? Fascism. Again, let's get out of the cutscene before we start talking politics again. So, yep, so let's just keep heading east. And that will prove, because then we, who are outside of Valua's circle, will then be able to sell the information that the world is round to the Sailors Guild and give that information to the people. So, that's the plan anyway.
Let's go. Aye, aye.
Alright, off to Crescent Isle, but we're going through the east. Actually, we're not going east immediately. We're going straight north if the trigger hasn't happened yet. Let me see. The trigger has not happened yet because I am Vice the Dashing. Keep that title in mind because the trigger, I think, happens when you return to Crescent Isle. But if you have Vice the Daring or higher at this point, you actually don't want to go east immediately. You want to go straight north. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So here's Mount Kazai. Here's Tenko Island. And then if we keep going north from there, the world will wrap around on itself. And we want to get like down here-ish somewhere. There's an island there with a very important person that we need to go and talk to. So that's where we're going to go. That and when Takumi uses a dragon vein to drain the water so that you can't just defend choke points anymore. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he does do that. Little shit. I forgot about that part. Yeah, but it's good. It's good design because then it's like, okay, well, you can't just defend choke points anymore. We're going to force you to actually play the video game now. But, yeah, I forgot about that. I think we're going to re-equip our stuff for now because we're not going to go fight Piastol just yet when we get back. Oh, that's the wrong one. You need Ducat's Tunic. Fina needs the Moonlight Robe. You only ever get one Moonlight Robe, so just keep that in mind when you're using it. I guess we could eventually pass it down, but yeah, it's fine. You've got the Jade Swirl Ring. That's fine. Keep that. You put the Moondust Ring on. And then I think we're in good shape. How many Moonberries do I have at this point, by the way? Oh, I've got 2 more. Okay. I wasn't sure if I was going to buy this, but I think just for the purpose of having everybody kind of be even, basically, like, not everybody's going to have their last super moves. I'm pretty sure Vice might be the only one that has his last super move, but if we get more Moonberries, maybe I'll change my mind. But let's buy Fina's 4th super move. It's it lets you cleanse any negative, or not negative status effects, positive status effects from enemies. So it's very useful in the Legends boss fights in particular because they all like using Incrum or Incremus. Lunar wins, so yeah, we'll keep that in mind for them. The worst part was that you were probably spread out to all the choke points, and now that the water's gone, it's easy AF for you to get swarmed and nuked. Yeah, so it forced you to kind of reassess yourself a little bit, which is good. Because it's nice when a map keeps you on your toes like that, you know? Why didn't more maps have the royals from the opposite game use veins? I think the only other one was the sewer map in Birthright. Yeah, they definitely didn't use that mechanic enough, in my opinion, so... I wish they did. It was a cool mechanic, but... yeah, whatever. Alright, so, straight north we go. And do I want the white map while we're on our way there? I kind of do, actually. We don't want to get to level 35 before we fight Piastol the next time, so I'm going to try to avoid encounters for a little bit if I can. We don't have to do it for long. We're going to fight her again when we get back to the other side of the world, but yeah, just want to try to avoid any excess if I can. Could catch more Romuhai fish if you want while you're in the area, too. So, but we don't need to. It's fine. It's a long trip, though, this one, so it's probably going to take a little bit for us to come into view of where I need to go. I also might have to make some slight adjustments, but we'll see. That's a lot of Jelly Chris. We have 10 SP now. That's awesome, because that means we can use Pyrez and Pyrum in one go. Most Dragon Veins are fucking gimmicks, so a lot of players don't fucking use them anyways. Yeah, like me. I barely use them myself, so... I definitely understand that. Yeah, let's just keep going with purple. It's working pretty well for us, and we'll get crystalline pretty soon, so then I don't have to worry about it again. We can start working on getting, like, Wevlum, and, I think I wanted to get Pyrolen, but Pyrolen costs 10 SP to use, so it's kind of not as useful as just Pyrez and Pyrum. It has less base power than Pyrez and Pyrum combined, but it costs the same amount of SP, which is kind of silly, in my opinion. So... but whatever, it's fine. I think I want to attack this one. I think Vice attacked the other one. Okay. That'll work.
Move! Give me strength!
I also don't... no, I equipped the Moondust Ring. Never mind. I thought I didn't, but I'm pretty sure I did, so... oh, damn, Fina. One-shotted them all, even if they're resistant. Getting a lot of will there. Pretty good. I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to say how I feel about magic being useful in situations like this where it's random battles. Ooh, 8 quick, that's nice, Vice. But it's not so useful in boss battles, because, I mean, I guess it means that every command has a place, like items and super moves are more useful in regular, or in boss fights, and then in regular fights, magic is more useful, because then you can crowd control easier, but... I don't know, I feel like it kind of gimps Fina, because then it's like she can't use her best stats in boss battles where every character should shine, you know? Ooh, that looks important up there. And so does that. Holy crap. Unfortunately, we can't get up there just yet because we don't have a ship that can go that high. But once we get the Book of Polarity back to Crescent Isle and we show it to Brabham and Ismail, that should change, so... but first, I think we have to go through here. Yeah, that's, I think, the island we're looking for right there. Let's go find out. Maybe not. Maybe there's a different one. Well, just depends on where I am on the world map here. Okay, we're close. Let me actually do a count here, because these ships, these squares here actually count for coordinates. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we actually want to be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's actually not too far away. It's like right here somewhere, I think. Ah, okay. I wasn't too far away after all. It's right here. Whoops. If you go further east from here, by the way, there's a really good level up spot that you can use for grinding and for gold. It's called Looper Land, but we don't need to go to Looper Land just yet. It's a silly place. So we might visit it eventually just for the hell of it to see what it's all about, but we don't need to at the moment. So you know what? I might have Aka just use Pyre just in case we don't kill them with Pyrum. But there is actually some stuff that I'm going to go do after this. We're not going to do all the side quests that we have available at this point, but we're going to go do some of them for right now. There's a couple of places I need to go visit. I got to get a couple of discoveries that we haven't gotten yet, because there's a certain crew member that needs 30 or more discoveries in order to be recruited. So, yeah, we'll go do that after we get to this person's island. And you have to do this now, by the way. If you go back to Crescent Isle first and then try to do this, you're SOL. I'll tell you why once we get on the island, but... Excuse me. You appreciate Fates more after the years went by, and from watching Exubble make bank on KMUs, but still feel kind of lukewarm about it. Well, I'm glad that it's warmed up to you, because it's still cold as ice to me. And I hate to say that, because I'm sure there are people, I think Lifeblood at this point is asleep, but I'm sure there are people in the chat that enjoyed Fates, and more power to you. You saw something in it that I didn't, but I just couldn't. I can't do it. Hey, old man, what are you doing living all the way out here in the middle of nowhere? Well, I am a dashing blue rogue, so that would make sense. So this is Ryukan, and he's kind of the best swordsmith in the world. He just doesn't really do much with it right at the moment, so... Yeah, you like these cutlass blades I have? I like how he calls them Old One. That's probably just a literal translation of sensei, essentially, from the Japanese, so... He probably could have just said sensei. Now, if you don't have Vice the Daring or Greater at this point, he will tell you come back later when you're more deep within have more courage in your spirit or something like that. But if you do, well, you can recruit him right now. And it's very important to recruit him right now, because if you go back to Crescent Isle with Vice the Daring or better as your swashbuckler rating, something really, really bad is going to happen to your swashbuckler rating. So do this now, or you will live to regret it. Just trust me on that one. But yeah, we got Ryukan. He's an artisan, so he's actually a new type of crew member that we didn't have before. And I guess he's going to leave all of his stuff here? Alright, fair enough. But yeah, that's all we needed to do here. We just needed to pick him up. And then we will head back down to see if we can find that little gap in the reef they were talking about. There might be some discoveries over here, by the way, but we can always come back later. I'm not really worried about discovery hunting at the moment, so... Yeah, it's fine. Alright, hard south. Back through the rift. And we'll try to head a little bit east while we're at it so we can get to Horteka a little faster. There's a few discoveries we can make in Horteka that I just missed the last time we were there, so... I'll see if I can get a few of them. I kind of like that they leave those discoveries up there so that you can see them in the upper sky, though, considering they just gave you the Book of Polarity, so they can kind of hint at you, being like, hey, here's an idea on where you can go next after you get the Book of Polarity working. So, it's kind of nice. I think I'm just going to Delta Shield, and I can kill these guys with a Pyre, so let's just do this. No Noxus for you. Oh, nice.
Move. Give me strength.
One of the reasons, by the way, why I like having both Aka and Fina be so fast is because that way they can clear the battlefield for me, or at the very least soften everything up really quickly in battle before the enemies go. So I will always prioritize speed for both of them over every other stat. It's just so much simpler. Oh, Aka got Crystalline and Vice got Crystalline. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, and we even got a rare drop in Ickleseed, so that's some more will for Fina. Nice. But yeah, I'll always prioritize speed for them over... Even over will, I'll prioritize speed, because usually you don't need more will to fight small enemies that have low HP, because usually they just blow up when you use Pyrum or Pyrolin on them. So, speed, quick rather, the quick stat, yeah, that works pretty well. So, we will try to pump that up a lot higher than 154 in the future, because... what do I need to outspeed Piastol in the final fight? I think if I remember right, she has something like 400 quick in the final fight, so she almost always outspeeds you, but if I can get Aka's and Fina's quick to be that high, that'd be awesome. I don't know if I will be able to, but there is a way to increase some of your character's parameters permanently without using equipment later on in the game. It's rather on the very expensive side, but, well, we have... 115,000 gold and nothing to spend it on at the moment, so hopefully that'll just keep going up. The fact that that gremlin has made thousands on KMUs for Conquest, Revelation, and Birthright is kind of fucking nuts. Like, I think he made 2K on the Birthright runs before taxes and YouTube's cut. Dude, why do you people keep paying this money to watch video game characters die? So I want to say it has something to do with the same sort of mechanics that get people to play gacha games, but I'm not an expert, so I couldn't tell you if that's actually true or not. But basically, the way that works, and the way that most gambling systems work in games or in videos that they watch or in streams, is that the people that pay the most money on those, especially when it's like a popular person, are people with disposable income that don't know what to do with the money, but also people who don't really have good control of their finances. So when those two bad things mix together, you end up with people who pay thousands of dollars on Kill My Units, which is not really ideal. So I could never do it myself. I'm way too frugal for that, but that's because I grew up poor as dirt, and we're not much richer now, so... Like, we didn't get most of our consoles until practically the next console generation, up until, like, the PS4. We got the PS4 about 2 years after it came out, and that was the earliest we got a console. By the time we got a Super Nintendo, the N64 was already well out the door. So, and it was the first console we ever owned. So I was behind for a lot of my video game career. It's probably one of the reasons why I don't really like keeping up with new releases, because I never did in the past. So, I gotta watch experience here. I might have to start running from some battles because Vice is getting a little high on the experience there. It's okay, the white map gives me plenty of opportunity to run from stuff. And actually, now that we have Ryukon, we don't even have to worry about if we run from battles or not, because he's the only person in the game where your swashbuckler rating is checked against in terms of whether or not he'll follow you in your party. So... yeah, now we can just run with impunity, especially with the white map. You expressly remember a run where like 11 donations came in rapid fire to kill that Azura that he danced 2,100 turns for. Yeah, that's just people being vindictive mixed with having zero financial responsibility towards their money. So, and I mean, it's not like, I'm not trying to be mean to those people, but like if you have that extra money, you shouldn't spend it on someone else's income, I don't think. You should probably try to spend it on things that are more worth the investment. Because, like, you spend it on someone like that, first of all, you can't write that off on your taxes, so that's not good. Although, here in the U.S., it kind of becomes a bit of a moot point now, because Now here in the U.S., you can't write off donations on your taxes unless they're like significantly high, like I think it's over $10,000 worth of donations now you need to make to charity in order to get like a philanthropic tax credit in the U.S., which is a stupid decision, but that's just my personal opinion, I guess. Anyway, what could I talk about that doesn't talk about that? Because if I go further on that subject, it'll piss someone off. Fascism, that's what I can talk about. Okay, so let's change the subject from a political topic to a different political topic. Oh, they have drill nose. Well, that's a good thing I used. What's it called then? Delta Shield. I'm going to use it again even. Yeah, so you might be wondering at this point, hey, wait a minute. So if Valua knows that the world is round, why haven't they shared that information with the world? Surely it would help out society for society to know, yes, we can sail around the world to get to these places. It would have meant trade with Yafutama would have been more possible in the past. Well, here's the thing. Valua is based on a fascist country. And a country ruled by fascism, one of the inherent principles of fascism itself is the silencing of all information that doesn't benefit the country itself. So the reason why Valua hasn't told the world, hey, you can sail around the other side of the world because the world is a sphere, is because they're trying to control the narrative in such a way that only their people know that. It creates a power gap between them and other nations, which they can then use as leverage if other nations try to attack them. They can say, well, we can cut off trade routes. What do you mean trade routes? Well, actually, so Valua, that's why they haven't shared their information, because they're a fascist country. So now, by accomplishing that feat ourselves, what we will inherently do is we will tell the world, no, actually, Valua knew this all along. The only reason we went is because one of their people told us that they came in from that direction. And the world, as it turns out, is round. And that will mean that trade routes will now become more publicly available with both Ixataka and with Yafutama. So the world will become more intertwined with one another. The economy will become more global, and that will actually hurt Valua's information network, because when things become more global, you tend to be able to see the fact that certain things are being omitted from the narrative for countries like Valua that inherently are ruled by fascism. So we're going to be breaking Valua's hold on information by doing what we're doing, basically. Also, I think there's a... let's see. So where's Horteka from here now that we're over here? That's the King's Hideout. Horteka's here. I think I actually want to go to the King's Hideout, if I remember right, because there's this discovery that we can make there for my little total. It's an old discovery, but it is a discovery nonetheless. Southwest of the King's Hideout. Yeah, so we want to go there first to see if we can find something. Let's see. King's Hideout is up there. Southwest of the King's Hideout is around here somewhere. But where? Up here. There it is. The Ixatakan Palace. Yeah, I missed this one before, but it'll add to our total, so that's the important part. The next one is southwest of Horteka, and then there's one that's west of Horteka that we actually want to go to as well. So, this stone palace was once the site of ceremonies based on the ancient lunar calendar, built during the reign of the Moon Kings. This place flourished as the center of Ixatakan civilization for ages, but was destroyed several years ago by the Valuans. Well, that sucks. I wonder which admiral decided that it was a good idea to go do that, because they're kind of a dick. Hey man, you got any Appa wax? I'd gladly buy and sell that stuff, and also give you some of my discovery information. Some of which you probably already know, but not all of it. Yeah, this is old stuff, and we can't even equip this old stuff because it's stuff for the Little Jack, so... Okay, he doesn't have Appa wax. That's unfortunate. I don't think this guy's inventory ever changes, unfortunately. But, whatever. I'll check the wanted list later. Yeah, see, Domingo already got to the Ixatakan Palace, so... Yep. But he didn't get information on all this other stuff, so let's sell this other stuff to them. Because surely they'll want to know what's behind that reef that Valua just blew open, so... And there we go. A little extra money, not too bad. I'm going to check the wanted list real quick. Okay, nobody knew. That's cool. There is new info for us to buy here, stuff that we didn't get access to before. And actually, this one, Women Warriors, this one we can actually, we're actually going to go look for in a second, so we'll go look for that in a minute. So, all right. You expressly, oh no, I already read that, sorry. I thought that was a new piece of chat. Yeah, you really probably should just move on there, man, just saying. Like, you're not doing yourself any favors by staying here. Okay, so Horteca is there. Southwest of Horteca is like right here. And then I think there's one that's west of Horteca that's on this island that I have hovering over this thing. Yeah, south of a tall plateau. Alright, so let's go check that out. That might be the tall plateau right there. Maybe up here? This isn't south, this is west, but maybe it's down here. Like on the edge of this thing. No? You want to play Fates again, but you don't want to play Fates again. It's concerning. Yeah, I mean, I understand. It's just one of those things, you know, it's tough because it's like, there are some things that you like about it in principle, but some things that you definitely don't. So, you know, I get it. I could have sworn it was somewhere on this island, and I thought it was in a clearing, too. Maybe here? Maybe I should just look it up. But we need these couple of discoveries. I think we're at like 29 right now, so I'm just going to run from this one. We got the white map. We can run pretty easily. And don't worry about running too much, especially now that you've recruited Ryukan. Your swashbuckler rating only goes down a small amount when you run, so. Maybe it's here. Like in here. Oh, yep, there you go. That's what I was looking for. The Ixanes Village. We actually need this one to recruit a crew member, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to specifically look for this one. So. The Ixanes Village is a tribe of women that lives on a small island in Ixataka. They are skilled and fearsome warriors. They raid nearby villages twice a year to kidnap men. Oh good, there's just Amazonesses here. The numbers of men in the nearby tribes have been almost reduced to nothing. That's mildly terrifying, yes. Is it in the grass here, then? Because is this west of Horteca? Okay, not quite west of Horteca. It's probably a little north of this, then. Yeah. Maybe it's up on top of the plateau. Nope. Okay, well, this one isn't strictly necessary for what I'm looking for. Maybe it's on top of this one right here. We're gonna go to Horteca after this, basically, but... nope, not there. Maybe it's south of this plateau? Because this is a really tall plateau right here. Maybe it's just south of this. Smash the A button. Nope, not up there. Well, I think I give up on this one. Let's just go back to Horteca. It's over here. Okay. Because there's quite a few things that we can do in Horteca now. We could have done them before, but I figured since we're coming this way for the story anyway, we might as well just do it when we get here for the story, you know? So. Let's see here. Alright, yeah, we didn't need that one specifically. There is one discovery that I have to pick up, though, in North Ocean, so we'll go do that in a minute. But there's a few other people that we can actually recruit for our crew here now that we've taken care of the Blue Moon Crystal. So let's go see what we can do. And we'll run a few errands, and then we'll call it a day after that. Because basically, after this, we want to go to North Ocean. There's one other crew member to recruit up there. And then after that... Let's see, I think I want to go this way. I want to go to Sentime's ship first, because one of the crew members is over there, but I think we have to, like, talk to him, leave, and then come back, if I remember right. Did I go the right way? Yeah, I think I did. Like, talk to him. I think we either have to leave the screen or leave the area altogether in order to recruit him. So, we'll see. And that crew member is Hans. What's going on, man? Yeah, I got my own ship. Thank you. Yeah, when is that going to be, actually? Sure, that sounds cool. We could use an engineer, so yeah, sure. It'll give you something else to do, get you out of Sentime's shadow all the time. It should be fun. But basically, you have to talk to him, tell him that he can be your engineer once he's done with his stint as a factory technician, and then come back after you get the Blue Moon Crystal, and then he will, well, join you as an engineer. But since we already got the Blue Moon Crystal, I think it's just as simple as leaving the screen, coming back, and then he'll join you. I don't think you have to wait until the next story beat before he'll join you, if this is the case. I mean, if you do, whatever, I'll come back, but I'm pretty sure you just leave and then come back and he'll do it. In the meantime, though, there's a couple of other members of Horteka's people that we can recruit, so let's go take a look. If I can figure out how to get back to the Elder's house from here. Oh, boy. I think I go down this way. It's been a little while since we've been here, so I'm a little lost. But I'm pretty sure it's this way. Let's go find out if I can ever get the camera to work with me. Okay. Yeah, it's this way. We go in here. Go through the rocks, and then up here. Now, actually, I don't know if I have to sell the information for the Ixness village before I can, go and recruit this guy. I might have to, so if we do, then that'll give me an excuse to leave and come back, but we'll see. In just a moment. I think the pill is starting to, the allergy pill is starting to wear off a little bit. Not because I feel like I need to sneeze necessarily, but because I'm pretty sure the cloudiness in my head is starting to go away. Which I guess is kind of nice. I mean, somewhat. We found a few discoveries around here, so. A ship with all women sailors. Well, they might have been flying out of the Ixness village. Man, must have a quick ship then. Excuse me. Yeah, possibly. I don't know why you'd want to. I'm pretty sure every male that goes there dies by snoo-snoo. I remember Futurama a little bit. But yeah, Tika Tika will actually join the crew of your ship as a lookout, because that's what he does. He looks out at things. He does actually have incredible eyes, and he also has one of the best passive abilities in the game, as it turns out, for your crew members. So I definitely want to take him with us, and he will never be moved out of my lookout spot. So, yeah, he joined our crew as a lookout. And that's good, because if we go to the crew page, and we check him out, he increases the hit percentage of all of your torpedoes by 80%. So you know how our torpedoes have had like a 60% hit rate before this? They don't have that problem anymore. So now we can equip as many torpedoes as we want. It's not reflected in their hit percentage here, but that 50% on the heavy torpedo there is now 130%. So they will almost always hit now, which is why we want so many of them for our ship. So there you go. Gonna eat a slice of pizza and wash your dishes. Need to start dinner soon. All right, Marie, sounds like a plan. Take it easy. We'll just be running errands for the rest of the stream and recruiting crew members, so you probably won't miss too much. I'll probably wait to fight Piastol until the beginning of the next stream, so look forward to that. So, yeah, it is pretty good, Gravy Bay. Yeah, it's better than what I think the other guy does. I think the other guy has an active effect where you can use his command in battle, and he, like, increases your chance of getting a critical hit or something. So, I mean, I guess that's okay, but, like, I'd rather that my torpedoes actually hit than have a slightly higher chance of getting a crit, you know? So. by comparison to Tika Tika, the other 2 crew members that we can recruit here in Horteka are not nearly as good, unfortunately. One of them is, like, strictly worse in the Jester category than Pow, because their crew effect does nothing in this game, other than... It increases the value of your ship. That's what it does, but that's, like, useless, because you can't sell your ship, so why would you ever do that? Unless you just really like her character design, but, I mean, whatever. If that's what you like, that's fine, go for it. But, yeah, I'd rather have Pow. Speaking of Pow, I need to go see him when we go back to the ship, because I need to check on him once a stream, because he's a good boy. So, I think I'm going the right way to get to where I need to go. I need to get back to the tavern, so, in case anyone was wondering, that's where I need to go. And I think, okay, you didn't need to go all the way around, Vice, but I think I need to go on this slide, and then that'll take us to the tavern. From here. Yeah. Okay. So in we go. Yeah, so you remember Merida from before? The dancer here? Well, after you get the Delphinus, you can come over here and take a look, and she has more to say. What happened that you need to take revenge? Oh, yeah. Remember in, I think it was the 2nd episode of the stream where we went to Sailor's Island and we went to the lighthouse and we found that message in a bottle talking about Ketya? Well, as it turns out, Merida was the one that sent that letter. We actually picked it up at a lighthouse, but I don't know if she knows what that is, so... I mean, we'll do the best we can to live up to that lofty goal. Sounds like a plan. And she does actually, the other reason why you might want to use Merida, I kind of made it sound like Pow was just a lot better than her altogether. And Pow does have a crew command that you can use to give you an increased chance to go first for 4 SP. Not really that useful, but more useful in a ship battle than just having a more valuable ship. But Merida, what she does when you use her as a part of the Blue Rogue's attack, she heals you, whereas Pow attacks the enemy. So if you want more healing out of your Blue Rogue's attack, Merida is worth an investment there, because she'll get you more healing than you would otherwise get. So. And I guess I shouldn't, like, undercut the value of the heal that Blue Rogue's does, because if you have, like, the maximum amount of healers that you can get for the attack, you can heal for, like, God, like, at least twice what the Sacrum Crystals can do at this point in the game. And even more so later on in the game. So, like, if you wait till the end game, when we're in, like, the mid-40s in level and stuff like that, we'll have, like, 50 SP to work with. So, if you get, like, 7 people that are healers in the Blue Rogue's attack, that's like 3,500 HP you're healing, which will not necessarily max you out, but it will give you a very significant margin of your HP back. So I'm going to go back to my ship just for safety to ensure that Hans comes with us, because I think all you got to do is exit and re-enter, and then he'll pop back into your party. So just to be safe. All right, so this is, we're almost done with our errands. After this, we got to make one stop in actually 2 stops in North Ocean. I got to find one more discovery to be sure I have enough. And then after we do that, we can head back to Crescent Isle. And I actually might save the Crescent Isle trip for next time as well. Like, we might actually, instead of doing that, I might head to Sailor's Island, because then we can pick up the next black spot, and we can get ready to fight Piastel before she turns into an offensive powerhouse. Because if we get above level 35, or at level 35 with anybody, she levels up to, like, level 38 or something, and she gets a lot more stats, and I don't want that. So we're going to try to fight her at the earliest level we can. Ideally, we'll fight her 4th and final battle at level 40 as well, but I'm not sure about that one. We'll see. Well, that was quick. You must have been right on the end of it. So, alright, sounds like a plan. I'm sure you'll keep our engine working in fine order there, Hans. And yeah, he'll join us as an engineer, so that's good. I believe, if I remember right, he increases your ship's magic defense, which is not bad. I prefer the other engineer, because the other engineer that you get in a little bit here actually gives your ship more physical defense, and you don't get a You get a really, really good magic defense figure earlier in the game than you get a really, really good physical defense deck for the ship. So I usually prefer the other engineer, but Hans will do okay. So, especially since the vast majority of ships don't use magic in battle. So, and funnily enough, the ones that do use magic in battle have a very crippling weakness that I haven't actually demonstrated yet, but I will. Don't you worry about that. It's funny because I'm thinking about it, and I actually probably should have demonstrated one of the weaknesses of all ships in some of the ship battles we had back in Yafutoba. But I didn't, so we'll just save that as a surprise for the next time we get into a bunch of ship battles. In the meantime, let's head back out to the ship. We gotta go, like I said, North Ocean, so we'll head back out that way. I need to go find the will-o-wisps that we found earlier, because they're actually an indicator of where the next discovery that I want is. So we'll go find them, and then we'll be in good shape. And by the way, don't worry too much about your discovery total at this point. If you have what I'm going to have in a minute, which is 30 or more discoveries, that's where you want to be at this point in the game if possible. But I wouldn't worry about it too terribly much. Let's see, that's the Rock's Nests. That's a little too far south. There's the will-o-wisps right there. So find them. If I remember right, we head straight south from them. So let's twist ourselves around a little bit. Go right here, and then go straight south. Oh, there it is. Yeah, not too far away, but the mysterious rings are down here. So... oh, good. Crop circles. Fantastic. Huge geometric shapes that mysteriously appear on the ground overnight. Reports have been very frequent lately. Old records speak of a similar phenomenon and mention 2 or 3 glowing balls of light that appear the night before the shapes are found. So probably if you didn't find the will-o-wisps yet, this would be an indicator that they're close by. But since you did, the will-o-wisps act as an indicator for these ones because they're directly south of the will-o-wisps. So, all right, now that we've got that going on, we need to look for this. I know that face. Gordo must have found a new gig after we kicked his ass. Let's go check out his new business, shall we? Nice digs he's got here. Let's go see what he's all about. Living the high life, Gordo? How you doing? Yeah, I remember you. Looks like you found a new business for yourself. Yeah, so instead of being a black pirate anymore, he decided he wanted to open a restaurant here in North Ocean. It's a nice change of pace for him. I think it works better with him because he's already a food connoisseur, so it seems like he's doing what he loves now a little more, you know? Cool. I'm glad for you, man. I'm glad you turned over a new leaf. That guy should look familiar right there, but there's also something else I'm looking for in here. Oop, right around here somewhere. Unfortunately, there's a lot of spots for us to, like, look at the stuff, so... just gotta try to find the cham. It's here somewhere. Oop. Hi there. Nice to meet you, Philip. Actually, I'm looking for a cham, which is like right around here somewhere. New World Loqua, huh? Yeah, sounds like it could be pretty good. Do I have to go behind the barrels? No. Okay. Oh, there we go. Got it. Perfect. A little hard to find because of all the things that you can interact with around here, but that's okay. And I think we're almost there on chams. I think we only need a couple more at this point, so... Alright, Gravy Bay, take it easy. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for coming out to check out the stream. Yes, there's only 2 more to get, and they're all on Crescent Isle, so that's not too hard. Incidentally, there's 2 moonfish on Crescent Isle as well, so the next time we go there, we're going to get quite a few upgrades. So, but before we get those, let's go talk to this gentleman over here, because he might look a little familiar. Yeah, so remember Domingo? I mentioned him way back when we first went to the Sailors Guild. He's the guy that's been stealing my thunder when it comes to discoveries. But if you come here with 30 or more discoveries under your belt, he'll have a few extra words for you. Yeah, you're the guy that's been stealing all of the treasure that I could be getting for my discoveries. I actually like doing that, so I kind of dig the fact that he's like, yeah, it's very relaxing. And it's like, yes, it actually is, so. Question for you, Domingo. You looking for a new crew? Because we do have, like, one of the best ships in the world, and it's soon to be even better, so we'll probably be able to find more discoveries if we work together. Yeah, that would be me, I think. Okay. Oh, I was going to say, I think we have to leave and come back, and then we can tell him we have 30 discoveries. But as it turns out, no, the game accounted for this, and Vice is going to tell him, yeah, actually, we have 31 discoveries, so... There are a total of 88 in the game, so you don't even have to get half. But this is probably the best time to recruit Domingo, because the game brings you over here anyway as a part of your round-the-world trip to get back from Yafutoma, so... Awesome. Yeah, don't tell Aka or Fina that too loud. They might throw you overboard. And yeah, he's the other lookout in the game, but I just don't think he's as good as Tika Tika, so we'll keep our resident Ixatakan. I have to protect my boy from the Ixaness Amazon women. So... Okay, but I think that's all the errands that I wanted to run, other than fighting Piastol, which we need to go to Sailor's Island to do anyway. And after that, we can head up to Crescent Isle, and we can go take a look around, see what they've got going on there. We'll see if Ismael and Brabham are finished with the repairs, and then we'll, you know, go see what else we can do from there. We can just go straight through the Sky Rift now, which is actually kind of nice because it makes it a lot easier to move between these areas. So, yeah. And I don't think Piastol's around here right now because we don't have the third black spot, so she won't show up, unfortunately. Or actually, probably fortunately for us, because then I don't have to worry about accidentally running into her when I'm unprepared. So. You know what? Let's go, well, should I give Doc the Moonfish now? No, because I think there's a story beat coming up with the Moonfish, actually, because we're at, like, 19 Moonfish now, so I think at 18 there's a major story detail, so I think I'll save that for the next episode, maybe after the Piastol fights, that way a bunch of people can kind of filter in and see what the deal is, so. Well, let's buy some supplies while we're here, because we can afford to do that. Don't worry about it. I'm just the same as any old regular dude. Even though I'm called Dashing, it's not really... I don't know if it's going to stick. Let's see. We got plenty of Magic Dew and Sacred Crystals, so that's good. I could use plenty of these, so let's pop those back up. As a matter of fact, I might buy 2 more of these, because I'm going to use one on Vice and one on Fina in the next fight, so I might do that. We could use a few of these... Am I going to use these in the next fight? No, I don't think so. I might just use Lunar Blessing instead, honestly. It'll probably do a little bit better for us. Is there anything I need to sell now? No, not there. Still need the Suiron Blade. I'll probably equip that after the Piastol fight because we're going to need that to recruit somebody. Keep the Ducat's Tunics. Keep... all of these because they're really good. Unfortunately, 10-inch cannon coil, it looks like I'm going to have to retire you finally. You did well while you were here, though. Alright, let's get some Oppa Wax. And then we'll go sell off the information that we just got at the Sailors Guild. And then once we're done with that, we will also go... I think the black spot shows up now. I don't think you have to go back to Crescent Isle to get it first, so... If you do, it's going to be a little unfortunate because I'm going to have to run from a bunch of fights, but that's okay. It'll be fine. Alright, so... You don't have anything new at all? I thought you had new inventory, Lore. What the hell? Oh, well. Go get some Oppa Wax from somewhere else. I don't know, Nazrat or... Actually, I can get it from Esperanza, because we got to go back to Esperanza and tell Don that we made it around the world, so... By the time we're done with the errands that I'm going to be running in between episodes here, well, not in between, but like in between doing the next story bits. So by the time the next episode comes out and we do all of the errands I'm running, we'll have all but one of the crew members in the game, so they will probably help us out quite a bit, actually. Hey, Guildmaster. Nah, don't worry about it. I'm just, like I said, I'm just some guy. Don't really have much to tell you about, but got a few things to tell you about. Oh, actually, that reminds me. The reason why you want to recruit Domingo at this point is because from this point on in the game, he will no longer sell information about discoveries if you recruit him. So now, every time, at least in theory, I'm pretty sure this is how it works, you'll get the full amount for the information that you sell to the Sailors Guild, even if you get it later in the game than you're normally supposed to. So, yeah, that's a good thing, I think. And I'm pretty sure that's how it works. We'll find out, because I'll be doing a bunch of discovering once we get the Book of Polarity working. But before that happens, we got another black spot to deal with. So we are in trouble, because this fight's going to be a little tougher. She's adding a new move to her arsenal that deals physical damage to everyone in the party. Will we be able to survive her onslaught, or will we be left under the waves of her unimaginable power? Sorry, I had to think of something real quick there. Find out on the next episode of Skies of Arcadia Legends, the Stream Edition, which will be happening either tomorrow or Monday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Actually, before we go, real quick stop. I gotta buy 4 thermo rings from the mystery merchant, because as it turns out, I didn't think about these things and how good they could be until just recently. These reduce the damage you take from red and purple attacks by 50%. So they're even better than Ducat's tunics in terms of if you're fighting something that's red or purple element. And they will come in very handy for several boss fights in the future. So I'm going to use these a lot. So I'm going to buy them a lot. We won't be equipping them right now because we don't need them at the moment. We'll just need Ducat's tunics instead. But keep in mind that we have them because they will come in quite handy. And incidentally, before I stop, I should probably also equip all those Ducat's tunics. So let me rest at the inn and then equip all of them, and then we'll call it a day. How about that? But anyway, yeah. So I'll post up the schedule in just a little bit once I get the description done for this episode on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Discord for next week. But probably, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it tomorrow or if I'm going to make it Monday for the next episode, but we'll see soon enough. So let me just equip the tunics, because we're going to need the help in this next fight, trust me. Yeah, I'll take this off too, put it on the Ancient Bracer, because we're going to need all the power we can get, and I definitely don't need to worry about my accuracy. So you've still got the tunic, so you put on the Warrior's Heart. Excuse me. Put on that there tunic. And yeah, keep the Jade Swirl Ring. The magic defense might help a little bit if I don't use Delta Shield for something. And then you can do that and keep the don't want you to keep the Constitution Gem, or would I rather have Fina do that? I think I'd rather have Fina use it, actually. So let's give that to her, because her magic defense, I mean, it's nice, but if I'm going to Delta Shield all the magic anyway, I guess she doesn't really need it. The immunity to status effects, though, and the ability to cleanse us if we're all being status, that's really nice. Alright, but anyway, yeah, I overstayed my welcome here, so thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream, and as I said, I'll post up the schedule, and we'll see if I'm going to see you tomorrow or Monday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the next episode. Until then, everybody, take care, and have a good one.